Owning your own mind is one of the most powerful things you can do to change your life. It means taking control of your thoughts, emotions, and actions so you live with purpose and confidence every single day. Imagine waking up feeling clear, focused, and ready to face whatever comes your way without doubt or hesitation. This is not just about thinking positive or trying harder. It's about learning practical habits that shape how you think and how you respond to life. In this guide, you'll discover how to train your mind to work for you instead of against you. You'll learn how to stay focused on what matters, build unshakable confidence, and make decisions with clear intention. These are not ideas you just read and forget. They are steps you can take daily to grow stronger, sharper, and more in charge of your life. You'll see how small changes in your daily routine can remove distractions that pull you down, and how speaking powerful words can build your inner strength. You'll find out how to handle negative thoughts and turn setbacks into lessons that make you tougher. The goal is to help you build a mind that supports your dreams and helps you live fully. If you've ever felt overwhelmed by your own thoughts or unsure about the next step, this is the guide that will help you find your way. The journey to owning your mind is not always easy, but it is worth it. Every chapter will give you clear, practical advice that you can use right now to start seeing real change. Stick with this, and by the end, you'll have the tools to take control of your thinking, protect your peace, and act with confidence. This is your chance to stop letting your mind run wild and start living the life you truly want. Chapter 1. Take full control of what you focus on. The quality of your life depends on the quality of your focus. Wherever your attention goes, your energy follows. Every day, your mind is pulled in 1,000 directions. Notifications, conversations, worries, regrets, and plans compete for your attention. But if you don't decide what matters most, everything else will decide for you. And when that happens, your mind becomes a battlefield. You wake up with a purpose, but end your day feeling scattered, distracted, and unsatisfied. This is not because you lack potential, it's because you haven't yet taken control of your focus. Taking full control of what you focus on means taking full control of your life. Most people don't realize how much of their life is shaped by what they give their attention to. They spend hours thinking about what others think, reacting to every distraction, worrying about problems that don't exist yet, and replaying events they can't change. The result is mental exhaustion and emotional confusion. But the truth is, your mind can become your greatest tool if you learn how to direct it with discipline and purpose. Focus is not just about avoiding distractions. It's about choosing your thoughts, the same way you choose your food, your clothes, or your friends. Not everything deserves space in your mind. Just because something demands your attention doesn't mean it's worth giving. When you learn to treat your attention as your most valuable asset, you stop wasting it on things that don't help you grow. You stop scrolling endlessly, you stop replaying arguments, and you stop worrying about what doesn't matter. You begin to think clearly, move deliberately, and live intentionally. Every great change in your life begins with a decision to focus. If you want to change your body, you must focus on health. If you want to build a business, you must focus on value. If you want peace, you must focus on simplicity. But you can't focus on everything, and trying to do so leads to frustration and burnout. The power of focus comes from narrowing your attention to what truly matters. Most people try to juggle too many goals, listen to too many opinions, and chase too many paths. That's why they never make real progress. When you take full control of your focus, you simplify your life and multiply your results. Start by becoming aware of where your attention goes each day. Pay close attention to the moments when you feel overwhelmed, anxious, or unproductive. Ask yourself, what am I focusing on right now? Is this helping me grow? Is this bringing me closer to the life I want to live? Awareness is the first step to mastery. Once you know where your focus goes, you can start making better choices. You can stop feeding thoughts that drain you and start feeding thoughts that build you. You must also learn to protect your focus like your life depends on it, because it does. Protect it from noise, from negativity, from distraction, from drama. You cannot grow in chaos. You need space to think, to reflect, to plan, and to act. That space only comes when you learn to say no to what doesn't align with your values. Most people are afraid to say no. They fear judgment, disapproval, or missing out. But every time you say yes to something unimportant, you are saying no to something that truly matters. You must decide who deserves your time, what deserves your energy, and where your life is going. You don't need to fix everything at once. Start small. Choose one thing that matters to you, a goal, a habit, a relationship, a skill, and give it your full attention. Turn down the noise, shut out the distractions, and build a focused routine around it. The mind becomes stronger through repetition. The more you train it to focus on what matters, the easier it becomes, and as your focus strengthens, so does your self-respect. You begin to trust yourself because you're no longer being pulled in every direction. You're no longer at the mercy of outside forces. You are in charge. Discipline is essential here. You will be tempted to give in to distractions. You will have moments when your mind wants to wander, when it feels easier to scroll, to daydream, to complain. But every time you resist that pull and bring your mind back to what matters, you grow stronger. This is how self-mastery is built. Not in loud, dramatic acts, but in quiet, consistent choices to focus your energy where it counts. You must also understand that focus is emotional. Your thoughts are not just logical, they're deeply tied to how you feel. When you feel anxious, your mind focuses on problems. When you feel angry, it focuses on blame. When you feel afraid, it focuses on risk. This is why emotional awareness matters. You must learn to recognize how your emotions shift your focus, and then learn to guide your focus back to clarity, to truth, and to action. Feel your emotions, but do not let them control your direction. It's also important to stop feeding what drains you. Your focus is constantly being influenced by what you see, hear, and experience. If you constantly consume negativity, comparison, and chaos, your mind will reflect it. But if you feed your mind with ideas, values, and wisdom, your focus will align with purpose. Choose carefully what you allow into your mental space. What you consume becomes what you believe. What you believe becomes how you act, and how you act becomes who you are. Technology is one of the greatest threats to focus today. Phones, social media, endless information. It's easy to fall into a cycle of mental fragmentation. Every notification, every update, every ping hijacks your mind. You must be ruthless about setting boundaries. Turn off non-essential notifications. Set fixed times for checking your messages. Keep your phone out of sight during your most focused work. Technology should serve your life, not run it. The more intentional you are with your attention, the more peaceful and productive your life becomes. Take time every day to reconnect with what matters. This doesn't have to be complicated. Spend 5 minutes each morning asking yourself what you want to focus on today. What one task will move you forward? What thought pattern do you want to reinforce? What distraction will you avoid? These small daily moments of clarity shape your long-term direction. They remind you that you are not just reacting to life, you are designing it. You are not your thoughts. You are the thinker of your thoughts. This means you have the power to choose which thoughts deserve your attention. Just because a thought enters your mind doesn't mean it deserves your energy. You can notice it, question it, and let it go. This is one of the most powerful mental skills you can develop. It gives you freedom from stress, from worry, from reactivity. It gives you the ability to focus only on what moves you forward. You also need to align your environment with your focus. Your surroundings influence your attention more than you realize. Clean up your workspace, remove physical clutter, set up cues that remind you of your goals. Make your environment a reflection of the life you're building. When your space supports your focus, everything becomes easier. You no longer have to fight against your surroundings. You move with clarity and purpose. And remember, focus is a habit, not a one-time decision. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep coming back to what matters. Every time your mind wanders and you bring it back, you're building a stronger focus muscle. This is not about control. It's about awareness and direction. It's about choosing your path again and again until it becomes who you are. There will be days when your focus feels weak. That's okay. Don't judge yourself, just return to the present. Refocus on what you can control. Take one small action. Progress is built in moments like this. Not when things are easy, but when you choose discipline despite the noise. These are the moments that shape your strength. To own your own mind, you must stop giving it away. You must stop letting the world tell you what to think, how to feel, and where to go. You must step into the driver's seat of your own life. That starts with mastering your focus. Focus is not just a mental tool, it's a way of living, a way of choosing your values over your impulses, a way of choosing growth over comfort, a way of choosing what matters over what distracts. You will become what you repeatedly give your attention to. So ask yourself, who do you want to become? What kind of life do you want to build? What kind of thoughts do you want to plant and grow? Your answers to these questions will shape your focus, and your focus will shape everything else. The truth is, you don't need more motivation. You don't need more time. What you need is to direct what you already have. You already have a powerful mind. You already have the ability to focus. You already have the freedom to choose what you give your energy to. The question is, will you use that power, or will you keep giving it away? Focus is freedom. When you master it, you stop being a slave to the noise around you. You stop living by accident and start living by design. You take full control of your time, your energy, your emotions, and your direction. This is how real change begins, not through big talk or empty plans, but through quiet, consistent focus on what matters most. Take full control of what you focus on, and you will take full control of your life. Every day gives you another chance to choose. Choose with purpose. Choose with discipline. Choose with clarity. Own your mind, and the rest will follow. Chapter 2. Strengthen your thoughts with daily mental training. Your mind becomes what you train it to be. Every day, without noticing, you're teaching your brain how to think. If you feed it fear, it learns to expect danger. If you feed it doubt, it learns to hold back. But if you feed it strength, discipline, clarity, and courage, it becomes a tool you can rely on through any challenge. The quality of your thoughts doesn't improve by accident. It improves through intentional daily training, just like a muscle that needs consistent work to grow stronger. You don't rise to the level of your potential. You fall to the level of your training, and mental training is the key to building thoughts that serve you, not sabotage you. Most people treat their minds like something that simply reacts to life. They wait for good news to feel positive. They wait for comfort to feel calm. They wait for everything to be perfect before they believe in themselves. This is why their confidence is fragile and their peace is unstable. They've never taught their minds to generate strength from within. But the moment you stop waiting and start training your thoughts, you reclaim your power, you stop reacting, and you start directing. You stop spinning in self-doubt, and you start thinking in ways that build you. Training your mind is not a one-time effort. It's a commitment to showing up daily and choosing how you want to think. You don't need hours of silence or perfect circumstances. What you need is repetition, focus, and a willingness to catch your thinking before it controls you. You train your mind by choosing what to repeat, what to resist, and what to replace. If a thought weakens you, you challenge it. If a thought strengthens you, you reinforce it. This isn't about pretending to feel good when things are hard. It's about teaching your brain to stay grounded, alert, and focused, even when life tests you. Start with simple morning practices. The first thoughts you allow into your mind will shape your emotional state for the rest of the day. Don't let your phone be the first thing you see. Don't scroll through headlines, opinions, and noise before you've grounded yourself in what you want to believe. Wake up and feed your mind with thoughts that are intentional, constructive, and energizing. Remind yourself who you're becoming. Think of one thing you're building. Picture one step you will take today that aligns with your values. These few minutes in the morning set the tone for your decisions, your reactions, and your focus. Mental training also involves building a daily habit of awareness. You need to watch your thoughts as they rise. Don't judge them, just observe. Where does your mind go when you're bored, tired, upset, or uncertain? What patterns keep repeating? What stories do you keep telling yourself that limit your progress? Every time you catch a thought that isn't useful and pause before believing it, you are training your mind. You are building a gap between impulse and response. That gap is where strength is built. Negative thinking is a habit. It's not always a sign of truth. Most of what people think is not rooted in fact, but in emotion, memory, or fear. You don't have to believe every thought that shows up. Mental training means questioning your thoughts, the same way you would question someone giving you bad advice. Where did this thought come from? Is it based on evidence? Is it helping me move forward? This type of reflection weakens the power of toxic thoughts and makes space for stronger thinking to grow. If you want strong thoughts, you need strong input. What you read, watch, and listen to shapes how your brain operates. If you're feeding your mind with negativity, gossip, complaints, or chaos, don't be surprised if your thinking becomes scattered and shallow. Replace it with content that makes you think deeper, see clearer, and feel stronger. Even 5 minutes of reading something wise or meaningful can reset your mind for the day. Don't just consume information. Absorb wisdom. Choose content that aligns with the mindset you want to live by. Mental training also means developing focus. You cannot think clearly when your mind is scattered. Multitasking weakens your attention span. Constant switching between tasks makes your brain lazy. To strengthen your thinking, build the discipline of doing one thing at a time. Give full presence to the task in front of you. Whether it's writing, cleaning, listening, or planning, train yourself to be fully there. Attention is mental strength in action. The more you use it, the more power you gain over your thoughts. Another key part of daily mental training is reflection. At the end of the day, ask yourself how you managed your mind. What thoughts helped you today? Which ones held you back? What triggered anxiety, frustration, or hesitation? And what did you do about it? This practice isn't about judgment, it's about learning. When you reflect, you bring unconscious habits into the light. You stop being a victim of old patterns and start building new ones. Just a few minutes of honest reflection can create weeks of better thinking ahead. Strengthening your thoughts also means setting daily intentions. Your mind needs a direction. Without it, it will wander into worry, overthinking, and regret. Every morning, decide how you want to think today. Set one mental goal, whether it's staying calm under pressure, being confident in your voice, staying patient during challenges, or focusing on what you can control. Your brain responds to clear instructions. The more precise you are with your mental direction, the more control you gain throughout the day. And above all, repetition matters. Mental strength is not built by motivation, it's built by daily action. Even when you don't feel like doing it, even when your mind resists. Especially then. You don't need to feel powerful to train powerfully. You need only to show up. Over time, the thoughts you train become your default. What once felt difficult becomes natural. You'll find yourself thinking more clearly, choosing more wisely, and acting more courageously, not because life got easier, but because your mind got stronger. Don't underestimate the power of small mental habits. Choosing to breathe deeply before reacting, choosing to pause before speaking, choosing to finish what you start, choosing to speak truth to yourself when doubt shows up. These small acts are the training ground for a resilient mind. They build your ability to hold your ground when pressure rises. They make you someone who doesn't break under challenge but sharpens through it. Train your thoughts like your life depends on it, because it does. Your choices come from your thoughts. Your habits grow from your thoughts. Your relationships reflect your thoughts. Your peace is shaped by your thoughts. And the quality of every future you want to build starts in the thinking you practice right now. You don't need to control every thought. You need to control your response to it. That response is where freedom lives. That response is where growth starts. And that response is where the strong train while others wait for life to change. Mental strength is not loud. It's not dramatic. It's built quietly, slowly, patiently. It's the result of someone who wakes up each day and chooses to build a better mind, not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. That someone can be you. And when you commit to that path, you'll no longer wait for the world to change. You'll become the kind of person who changes from within and brings that strength into everything you do. Chapter 3. Build unshakable confidence through bold daily action. Confidence is not a feeling that magically appears. It is a skill forged through deliberate, consistent action. It is easy to assume confidence means being fearless or never doubting yourself, but real confidence grows by facing challenges, taking risks, and proving to yourself that you can handle what life throws your way. The foundation of unshakable confidence is built one bold step at a time. It begins with choosing action over hesitation every day, no matter how small that action may seem. When you commit to daily boldness, you shift your entire relationship with yourself and the world around you. Most people wait for confidence to arrive before they act. They think they must feel ready or perfect to try something new or speak up. This belief traps them in cycles of procrastination and self-doubt. Real growth happens in the moments you move forward, despite uncertainty. Confidence is the byproduct of proving to yourself repeatedly that you can handle discomfort, make decisions, and persist even when the outcome is unknown. Taking bold daily action trains your mind to trust your ability to respond to life's challenges. You can start by breaking down intimidating goals into manageable daily tasks. Bold action is not always about grand gestures or dramatic moves. It is often found in simple choices, speaking up in a meeting, making a phone call you've been avoiding, or setting a clear boundary. These small actions, when done consistently, build momentum. They become a bank of personal victories that remind you who you are and what you are capable of. Confidence grows, not because of perfection, but because of persistence. Fear will never fully disappear. Instead of waiting for fear to vanish, build confidence by acting in spite of it. Every time you step forward with courage, fear loses its grip. Bold action creates new neural pathways in your brain, rewiring your response to uncertainty. Over time, what once felt terrifying becomes routine. You build resilience by learning that discomfort is temporary and that you survive and even thrive on the other side of it. An important part of building confidence is embracing failure as feedback rather than a verdict on your worth. Bold action means being willing to stumble and learn. Confidence does not require you to be flawless, it requires you to keep moving forward when you aren't. Every mistake teaches you something valuable. Each setback strengthens your ability to adjust, adapt, and keep going. When you view failure as part of your growth process, you stop fearing it and start using it to build courage. Visualizing success before taking action can also prepare your mind for bold moves. Spend time imagining how you will feel and what you will learn by taking that step. Visualization helps build clarity and reduces anxiety. It creates a mental rehearsal that primes your brain for success. When your mind knows the path, your body follows more confidently. This practice can transform nervousness into excitement and hesitation into readiness. Accountability plays a crucial role in sustaining bold action. Sharing your goals or intentions with someone who supports your growth can push you beyond your comfort zone. Knowing that someone else is aware of your commitments creates external pressure to follow through. This doesn't mean relying on others for confidence, but using external structures to reinforce your internal drive. When you commit openly, you increase the likelihood of taking consistent, bold steps. Celebrate every act of courage, no matter how small. Recognizing your progress builds positive reinforcement that fuels further action. Don't wait for a huge success to acknowledge your efforts. Each step forward deserves recognition. This practice rewires your brain to focus on your strengths and growth rather than your shortcomings. Over time, you internalize the belief that you are capable, reliable, and deserving of success. The environment you cultivate influences your confidence. Surround yourself with people who believe in growth and action. Limit exposure to negativity and doubt. Your social circle should challenge you to stretch while also supporting your efforts. Being around courageous, proactive people inspires similar behavior. When you see others take bold steps, you are reminded that confidence is learned, not born. Daily preparation is another cornerstone of confidence. Prepare for your challenges by learning skills, rehearsing conversations, or organizing your tasks. Preparation doesn't eliminate fear, but reduces uncertainty. The more you know, the more control you feel. Confidence grows when you meet the unknown armed with knowledge and readiness. Preparation shows respect for yourself and the situation, signaling that you are serious about your success. Confidence is also tied to your physical state. How you carry yourself, your posture, breathing and movement affects how you feel internally. Practicing confident body language, even when you don't feel it, can influence your mindset. Standing tall, making eye contact, and speaking clearly train your brain to adopt a more confident identity. Your body and mind work together, strengthening one supports the other. Taking bold daily action requires cutting through the noise of overthinking. Too much planning or second-guessing creates paralysis. Confidence is a muscle best strengthened by doing rather than endless pondering. Learn to recognize when analysis becomes avoidance and choose action instead. Doing even imperfectly builds experience and self-trust that thinking alone cannot provide. Your self-talk shapes the confidence you build. Pay attention to the messages you repeat to yourself. Replace doubt and criticism with encouragement and realism. Instead of saying, "I can't handle this," say, "I am learning and growing through this challenge." Words have power to build or break your confidence. Shift your inner dialogue to support your bold actions, and watch your courage grow. Discipline underpins every confident step. Commitment to daily action, regardless of mood or circumstance, creates momentum that carries you through resistance. You don't have to feel motivated every day. Motivation fluctuates, but discipline creates consistency. When you practice discipline in your daily choices, confidence becomes a natural result of your reliability and persistence. Understand that building unshakable confidence is a lifelong journey. It isn't about reaching a final destination, but continuing to expand your comfort zone. Each new challenge, no matter how small, is an opportunity to strengthen your belief in yourself. This mindset transforms setbacks into stepping stones and uncertainty into possibility. Confidence deepens as you accumulate experiences of success, learning, and courage. The quiet moments of reflection are essential. Take time to review your bold actions regularly. What worked? What surprised you? How did it feel to step forward? Reflection strengthens your awareness and prepares you for future challenges. It solidifies the connection between action and confidence, making the process more intentional and rewarding. Confidence built on action ripples into every part of life. It affects your relationships, work, health, and creativity. When you trust yourself, you speak up with clarity, take risks that matter, and recover quickly from setbacks. Others notice this strength and respond with respect and support. Building unshakable confidence changes how you move through the world, creating opportunities you never imagined. The most powerful way to build confidence is by being consistent. Small, bold steps repeated daily create habits that become your identity. When you act boldly, not just once but every day, your mind rewires itself for courage. Your body adapts to discomfort and learns to stand firm. Your spirit grows resilient. This daily investment in action builds a foundation of confidence that cannot be shaken by circumstance or opinion. Start now with one bold act today. It may feel uncomfortable or risky, but it will plant a seed of strength that grows with time. You don't need permission, perfect timing, or certainty. You only need willingness. Every time you choose bold action, you declare to yourself that your growth matters more than your fear. This choice, repeated over and over, becomes the source of unshakable confidence that fuels your success and freedom. Chapter 4. Remove all distractions that weaken your thinking. Distractions are the silent thieves of your mental energy and clarity. They pull you away from what truly matters, fragment your attention, and weaken your ability to think deeply and act decisively. In a world designed to capture your focus at every turn, learning to remove distractions is not just helpful, it is essential. The mind thrives when it has space and focus, but it struggles to perform when pulled in many directions. Your ability to think clearly, solve problems, and create depends on how well you guard your mental environment. Distractions come in many forms: digital noise from phones and social media, clutter in your physical space, overwhelming schedules, unresolved emotions, and even negative thoughts. Each one chips away at your attention and erodes your capacity to concentrate. When your thinking is weak and scattered, your decisions become impulsive, your creativity shrinks, and your productivity suffers. This creates a cycle where you feel overwhelmed and powerless. The antidote is to identify these distractions and systematically remove them, creating a mental sanctuary where focused thinking can flourish. Begin by examining your environment. A cluttered space can cause a cluttered mind. Visual noise drains mental resources, even when you don't notice it consciously. When your surroundings are chaotic, your brain works harder to filter out irrelevant stimuli, leaving less energy for meaningful thought. Clear your workspace of unnecessary items. Keep only what supports your current tasks. A clean, organized area invites focus and calm. It signals to your brain that this is a place for serious thinking and action. Technology is a primary source of distraction in modern life. The constant barrage of notifications, messages, and news pulls your attention away from your priorities. The average person checks their phone dozens of times a day, often without realizing it. This habitual checking interrupts deep focus and fragments your thinking. To regain control, set clear boundaries with technology. Turn off non-essential notifications. Use Do Not Disturb modes during work or study sessions. Schedule specific times to check emails and social media rather than responding immediately. These small changes help protect your attention from constant interruptions. Another powerful way to reduce distractions is to practice single tasking. Multitasking is a myth that damages your ability to focus. The brain cannot truly process multiple complex tasks at once. Instead, it switches rapidly between tasks, creating mental fatigue and reducing efficiency. Choose one task, give it your full attention, and complete it before moving on. This habit trains your brain to sustain focus and produces better results. Over time, single tasking builds deeper concentration and mental endurance. Distractions also arise from within. Internal noise, worry, self-doubt, impatience can be just as damaging as external interruptions. When your mind is restless, it's difficult to focus on the task at hand. Cultivating mental stillness is essential. Simple practices like deep breathing, meditation, or mindful pauses help calm internal chatter. Even brief moments of silence can reset your mind and improve clarity. When you create space inside, you strengthen your ability to resist distractions and stay centered. Setting clear priorities is a powerful tool for eliminating distractions. When you know exactly what deserves your attention, it's easier to say no to what doesn't. Clarify your most important goals and tasks each day. Write them down and review them often. Use these priorities as a filter to decide what deserves your time and energy. This clarity prevents you from being pulled into activities that don't align with your purpose, keeping your thinking sharp and directed. Physical health impacts your ability to resist distractions and maintain focus. Fatigue, poor nutrition, and lack of exercise weaken mental stamina. When your body is depleted, your mind is vulnerable to wandering and distraction. Prioritize sleep, nourish your body with healthy food, and move regularly. These habits create a foundation of energy and alertness that supports clear thinking. You cannot build mental strength on a foundation of exhaustion. Distractions often thrive when you don't have a plan. Without structure, your day can become a series of interruptions and reactive choices. Design a daily schedule that includes blocks of focused time. Protect these blocks fiercely. Use timers or alarms to create periods of work with no interruptions followed by short breaks. This method, often called the Pomodoro technique, trains your brain to concentrate and refresh. Over time, scheduled focus improves your mental endurance and reduces the urge to seek distractions. Social interactions can be another source of distraction if they are not aligned with your goals. Some conversations drain energy or pull your mind into drama and gossip. Choose your company wisely and set boundaries when needed. Engage with people who support your growth and respect your focus. When you surround yourself with purposeful relationships, your mind is nourished rather than depleted. Learning to say no is critical for removing distractions. Every time you say yes to something unimportant, you say no to something valuable. This applies to invitations, requests, and habits that consume your attention without benefit. Saying no is not selfish. It is an act of self-respect and protection. It preserves your mental space for what truly matters. Practice polite but firm refusals to guard your focus. Breaks and rest are not distractions. They are necessary for sustained focus. The brain cannot maintain peak performance indefinitely. Regular breaks prevent burnout and improve productivity. Use breaks intentionally to stretch, breathe deeply, or step outside. Avoid using breaks as excuses to check your phone or engage in distracting activities. A well-rested mind returns to work with greater clarity and energy. Developing rituals that signal focus time can help condition your mind to resist distraction. This might be a specific way you arrange your desk, a short breathing exercise before work, or a dedicated workspace. These cues tell your brain that it's time to engage deeply. Consistent rituals build mental habits that make focused thinking easier and more automatic. When distractions inevitably arise, learn to redirect your attention quickly. Notice when your mind drifts and gently bring it back to your task. Don't judge yourself for losing focus. Instead, treat it as a chance to strengthen your attention muscle. The ability to recover from distraction without frustration is a hallmark of strong thinking. Remember that removing distractions is a process, not an instant fix. Habits form over time, and your brain must be retrained. Be patient with yourself as you make changes. Celebrate small wins when you succeed in protecting your focus. Each step builds momentum toward a clearer, more powerful mind. The quality of your thoughts depends on the quality of your environment, habits, and choices. Removing distractions creates the conditions for deep thinking, creativity, and wise decision-making. When your mind is free from constant interruptions, it can work fully and effectively. This leads to greater satisfaction, progress, and control over your life. Commit to identifying and eliminating one distraction at a time. This focused effort is more effective than trying to change everything at once. Whether it's turning off notifications, clearing clutter, or setting boundaries, each action strengthens your mental fortress. As distractions fall away, your confidence in your own thinking will rise. The freedom you gain from removing distractions is profound. It allows you to engage fully with your goals, your relationships, and your purpose. It invites calm, clarity, and control. Your mind becomes a trusted ally rather than a source of chaos. This freedom is the foundation for mastering yourself and owning your life. Start today by choosing one distraction to remove or reduce. Notice the difference it makes in your ability to think clearly and act decisively. Let that success inspire you to continue refining your mental space. The journey to stronger thinking begins with this simple but powerful step. Every distraction you remove is a victory for your mind, your time, and your life. Chapter 5. Speak only words that grow your inner power. The words you speak hold immense power over your mind and your life. Every time you open your mouth, you are either building up your inner strength or weakening it. Words shape your identity, influence your emotions, and guide your actions. If you want to own your mind, you must learn to speak only words that nurture your inner power and support your growth. Speaking carelessly or negatively chips away at your confidence and clouds your judgment. But speaking with intention and positivity fortifies your resilience and sharpens your focus. Choosing your words carefully is not about pretending everything is perfect or forcing false positivity. It is about speaking with honesty, clarity, and purpose that serves your highest self. Negative speech, whether directed at others or yourself, creates patterns of doubt and frustration in the mind. Complaining, criticizing, and self-deprecation pull your energy downward. These words become internal scripts that limit your potential and trap you in cycles of negativity. To break free, you must replace harmful words with language that empowers and motivates. Start by observing your daily conversations and inner dialogue. Notice the words you use when faced with challenges, setbacks, or conflicts. Are your words filled with blame, excuses, or hopelessness? Or do they reflect determination, responsibility, and optimism? This awareness is the first step toward change. When you catch yourself speaking words that drain you, pause and choose different words that build you. Over time, this rewires your mind and changes how you feel and act. Speaking words that grow your inner power requires discipline and practice. It means resisting the urge to vent negativity or gossip. Instead, focus on expressing your truth with respect and confidence. When you face criticism, respond with calm and thoughtful words rather than defensiveness or anger. When you feel overwhelmed, speak words of encouragement to yourself, reminding yourself of your strengths and past successes. This habit transforms your mental landscape from a battlefield to a place of growth. Your words also create your reality. The language you use influences what you notice and how you interpret events. For example, saying "I can't do this" closes your mind to possibilities, while saying "I will find a way" opens it to solutions. When you speak positively about your goals and challenges, you prime your mind to focus on opportunities instead of obstacles. This shifts your energy toward action and progress, making you more effective in pursuing what matters. The way you speak to yourself is especially important. Your inner voice is constant and powerful. Negative self-talk erodes your confidence and creates doubt. Positive self-talk builds courage and clarity. Practice affirmations that align with your values and aspirations. These are not empty phrases, but intentional statements that remind you of your capabilities and purpose. Repeating empowering words daily strengthens your belief in yourself and guides your behavior. Speak with purpose in every conversation. Before you speak, ask yourself, does this sentence serve my growth or weaken it? Does it bring me closer to my goals or distract me? Does it respect others and build connection? When you commit to this standard, your words become tools for influence and leadership. People notice your clarity and calm. Your speech becomes an extension of your self-mastery, reflecting your inner strength and discipline. Avoid words that create unnecessary drama or confusion. Clear and simple language supports clear thinking. When you speak vaguely or exaggerate, you invite misunderstandings and internal doubt. Precise words help you think more logically and solve problems effectively. They also build trust with others and yourself. Practice expressing your ideas clearly and directly, avoiding filler words or empty complaints. Listening to your own words can reveal hidden beliefs. Sometimes, what we say unconsciously reveals fears or insecurities we haven't faced. Pay attention to recurring phrases or complaints. These may signal areas where your inner power is weak or untrained. Use your speech as feedback to guide your mental training. Replace limiting beliefs with statements that reflect your commitment to growth and resilience. Words influence emotions deeply. Speaking in a calm and positive tone lowers stress and increases confidence. When you notice yourself raising your voice or using harsh words, pause to breathe and soften your speech. This not only improves your mood, but also changes how others respond to you. Your voice carries energy. Use it to convey strength, calmness, and resolve. Building the habit of speaking empowering words takes time. It requires patience and self-compassion. You will slip into old patterns, and that is normal. When it happens, gently redirect your speech without judgment. Celebrate your progress rather than criticize your mistakes. Consistency in this practice rewires your brain toward optimism and self-control. Your words shape your relationships as well. Speaking with kindness and respect strengthens bonds and builds support networks. Avoid gossip, harsh judgments, and negativity in your interactions. Instead, offer encouragement, gratitude, and constructive feedback. This creates an environment where you and others can grow. The quality of your speech reflects the quality of your inner life and relationships. You can use written words to strengthen your inner power too. Journaling with intention allows you to express thoughts honestly and explore solutions. Writing helps clarify your thinking and solidify your commitments. Use your journal to affirm your values, track progress, and release doubts. This practice complements your spoken words and deepens your mental training. Recognize that your words carry responsibility. They influence not only yourself, but also those around you. Speaking powerfully is a form of leadership. Whether in personal or professional settings, your words set the tone for action and atmosphere. When you commit to speaking words that build inner power, you contribute to a culture of strength and integrity. Every day presents opportunities to practice this principle. From casual conversations to challenging discussions, choose words that uplift and empower. Make it a habit to end each day reflecting on how your words served your growth. Adjust your language to better align with the person you are becoming. This ongoing commitment transforms your speech into a source of energy and confidence. Avoid comparing your speech or expression to others. Your voice and style are unique. Focus on authenticity and clarity rather than perfection. Speaking words that grow your inner power is about alignment with your values and intentions, not about sounding flawless. When you speak from this place, your words carry genuine strength and influence. Remember that silence can also be a powerful choice. Sometimes the most empowering thing you can do is to pause and think before speaking. Silence allows you to gather your thoughts, avoid reactive speech, and maintain control over your mental state. Using silence intentionally complements your spoken words and enhances your presence. Your commitment to speaking words that grow your inner power transforms your mind and life gradually, but profoundly. It rewires your brain, reshapes your emotions, and redirects your actions. It creates a foundation of self-respect and confidence that is resistant to external circumstances. This practice aligns your inner world with your outer expression, enabling you to own your mind fully. Start now by choosing one phrase or type of statement to replace with more empowering language. Notice how this simple shift affects your mindset and interactions. Build on this momentum with daily attention to your speech. Over time, your words will become a steady source of strength, clarity, and growth. You have the ability to shape your inner power with every word you speak. Use this ability wisely. Speak with intention, speak with respect, and speak with courage. Your words are not just sounds, they are the building blocks of your character and your destiny. Let them reflect the strength you are cultivating within. Chapter 6. Train your brain to reject every negative thought. Negative thoughts are like unwelcome guests that arrive without invitation and refuse to leave. They cloud your mind, drain your energy, and distort your perception of reality. Training your brain to reject these thoughts is not about denying reality or ignoring challenges. It's about refusing to give space to unhelpful patterns that weaken your mindset and controlling how you respond to mental noise. This skill is essential to owning your mind because it creates a mental environment where clarity, strength, and calm can thrive. Your brain naturally tends toward negativity because it is wired to protect you from harm. This negativity bias means it notices threats and dangers more readily than opportunities or positives. While this survival mechanism helped ancestors stay alive, in modern life it often causes unnecessary worry, doubt, and fear. Left unchecked, negative thoughts multiply and take over your mind like weeds in a garden. To reclaim your mental space, you must become a gardener who uproots these weeds as soon as they appear and prevents them from spreading. The first step in training your brain is to develop awareness of your negative thoughts. Many times, negativity slips in unnoticed, becoming automatic and unconscious. Start by simply observing your thoughts throughout the day, without judgment. Notice when your mind drifts to criticism, fear, or self-doubt. Awareness is the foundation of change, because you cannot reject what you don't recognize. This practice builds your mental radar for spotting negativity early. Once you notice a negative thought, the next step is to question it. Ask yourself where this thought came from and whether it is true or useful. Often, negative thoughts are based on assumptions, fears, or past experiences rather than facts. Challenge the validity of these thoughts as if you were a detective looking for evidence. Does this thought reflect reality, or just a distorted perspective? Is it helping me solve a problem, or creating more anxiety? This critical questioning weakens the power of negativity and opens space for more balanced thinking. Replacing negative thoughts with positive or neutral alternatives is key to retraining your brain. Instead of trying to push away a negative thought forcefully, gently shift your focus to a constructive thought. For example, replace "I can't do this" with "I am learning and growing." This doesn't mean ignoring difficulties, but reframing them in a way that supports your resilience. The brain responds well to repetition, so consistently practicing this replacement builds new neural pathways that favor optimism and strength. Developing mental habits that support positive thinking is essential. This can include daily affirmations that reinforce your worth and capabilities. It also involves gratitude practices that train your brain to notice what is going well. When you focus regularly on your strengths, achievements, and blessings, you create a mental environment where negativity has less room to grow. These habits build a foundation of inner confidence that helps you resist negative intrusions. Learning to detach emotionally from negative thoughts reduces their impact. When you feel overwhelmed by negativity, it's often because you are entangled in the emotion the thought creates. Practice stepping back and observing the thought as if it were a passing cloud rather than a permanent reality. Mindfulness techniques can help with this by anchoring you in the present moment and reducing emotional reactivity. This distance allows you to choose how you respond rather than reacting automatically. It's important to prepare your mind for challenges because negative thoughts often arise during stress, uncertainty, or failure. When you anticipate difficult situations, remind yourself that negative thoughts will appear but do not have to control you. Visualize yourself noticing the thought, questioning it, and replacing it with a stronger one. This mental rehearsal builds readiness and resilience. You train your brain to expect negativity, but to respond with strength and clarity instead of defeat. Surrounding yourself with positive influences supports your effort to reject negativity. The people you interact with, the media you consume, and the environment you create all affect your thought patterns. Choose relationships that uplift and challenge you in healthy ways. Limit exposure to gossip, complaints, and negative news. Feed your mind with inspiring books, podcasts, and conversations that fuel hope and growth. A supportive environment makes it easier to maintain a positive mindset. Physical habits also play a role in mental resilience. Exercise, adequate sleep, and proper nutrition provide the energy and balance your brain needs to function well. When your body is fatigued or stressed, Negative thoughts gain more influence. Prioritize your physical health as part of your mental training regimen. Movement, fresh air, and rest refresh your mind and reduce vulnerability to negativity. When negative thoughts persist despite your efforts, don't battle them alone. Seek support from trusted friends, mentors, or professionals who can help you gain perspective and develop strategies. Sometimes negativity is a symptom of deeper issues that require guidance and care. Reaching out is a sign of strength and commitment to owning your mind, not weakness. Practice patience and persistence in this process. Training your brain is like building muscle. It takes consistent effort over time to see lasting change. You will have days when negativity feels overwhelming and your mind slips into old patterns. When this happens, acknowledge it without judgment and return to your practices. Each moment of returning to control builds resilience and weakens negativity's hold. Celebrate your progress along the way. Notice when you successfully reject a negative thought and replace it with a positive one. Recognize how this changes your mood, energy, and decisions. Tracking these wins builds motivation and reinforces your ability to own your mind. The journey is as important as the destination because every step strengthens your mental freedom. Remember that rejecting negative thoughts doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means choosing which thoughts deserve your attention and which ones are harmful distractions. Your mind is a powerful tool, and your responsibility is to guide it with wisdom and discipline. When you refuse to entertain negativity, you free your mental space for clarity, creativity, and courage. Over time, this training creates a mental fortress that shields you from destructive thinking. You become less reactive and more proactive in managing your emotions and actions. Your inner dialogue transforms from a critic into a coach. This shift empowers you to face challenges with calm confidence and to pursue your goals with unwavering focus. Begin today by paying close attention to one negative thought and practicing the steps of awareness, questioning, and replacement. Notice how your mind responds and how your feelings change. Use this experience to build momentum toward a mind that refuses negativity and embraces strength. Your brain is capable of remarkable transformation when trained with intention. The power to reject every negative thought lies within your daily choices. Each time you choose to confront and replace negativity, you reclaim control. This control is the essence of owning your own mind. It creates freedom from fear, doubt, and self-sabotage. It lays the foundation for a life of purpose, resilience, and peace. Commit to this training and watch your mind become a source of strength rather than struggle. You are not defined by your negative thoughts. You are defined by how you respond to them. Training your brain to reject negativity is the most important act of self-mastery you can undertake. It shapes your experience, your relationships, and your future. Take ownership of your mind by choosing strength over weakness in every thought. This choice will change everything. Chapter 7. Design a clear routine that sharpens your mind. Creating a clear routine is one of the most powerful ways to sharpen your mind and take control of your life. When your days have structure and intention, your mental energy is directed efficiently, reducing wasted effort and indecision. A well-designed routine is not about rigidity or monotony. It is about crafting a reliable framework that supports focus, clarity, and growth. It provides a foundation from which your mind can perform at its best, free from chaos and distraction. Your brain craves predictability in certain areas to function optimally. This doesn't mean every moment must be scheduled, but key habits and actions repeated daily build mental strength and clarity. When you know what to expect, your mind conserves energy instead of constantly adapting to uncertainty. This mental economy allows you to think more deeply, solve problems more effectively, and respond to challenges with calm and confidence. Designing a routine begins with identifying your priorities. What are the most important activities that contribute to your mental sharpness and overall goals? These might include physical exercise, focused work periods, reading, meditation, or planning your day. Once you clarify your priorities, allocate specific times for them. Scheduling these activities turns intention into action and makes it easier to follow through. Without clear timing, even the best intentions can get lost in distraction or fatigue. Consistency is key in building a routine that sharpens your mind. Repeating the same actions at the same time daily trains your brain to prepare for these tasks. For example, if you meditate every morning, your mind learns to settle more quickly and deeply over time. If you set aside an hour for reading or learning each day, your ability to absorb and retain information improves. This consistency strengthens neural pathways and develops mental endurance. Include habits that stimulate your mind actively. Challenging mental tasks like problem solving, learning new skills, or creative activities keep your brain engaged and growing. Passive consumption of information, like scrolling social media or watching television, does not sharpen your mind. Design your routine to prioritize active mental engagement over passive distraction. This deliberate choice fuels your cognitive development and builds resilience against mental fatigue. Physical movement is an essential part of a routine that sharpens the mind. Exercise increases blood flow to the brain, improves mood, and enhances cognitive function. Incorporate activities like walking, stretching, or more vigorous workouts into your daily schedule. Even short bursts of movement can reset your focus and boost mental clarity. When your body is healthy and active, your mind follows suit with greater alertness and energy. Rest and recovery are critical components often overlooked in routines. Your brain needs downtime to process information, consolidate memories, and rejuvenate. Schedule breaks between focused work sessions to avoid burnout and maintain high performance. Prioritize quality sleep by creating a calming pre-sleep routine and consistent bedtime. Rest is not a luxury, it is a necessity for sustained mental sharpness. Simplify your routine to avoid overwhelm. Start with a few key habits that have the most impact on your mental clarity. It's better to master a simple routine than to juggle a complicated one that causes stress and inconsistency. As you build confidence and see results, you can gradually add more habits. This approach creates momentum and ensures your routine supports growth rather than drains your energy. Use tools and techniques to support your routine. This might include planners, reminders, timers, or habit tracking apps. Visual cues like checklists or calendars provide motivation and a sense of accomplishment. Breaking your day into focused blocks with clear goals makes your routine manageable and effective. When you see your progress daily, your motivation to maintain the routine grows. Flexibility is important within your routine. Life is unpredictable, and rigid schedules can create frustration and resistance. Allow room for adjustment when necessary without abandoning your core habits. The goal is consistency over perfection. If you miss a session or need to shift timing, return to your routine without guilt. This mindset keeps your routine sustainable and your mind sharp. Begin your day with rituals that prepare your mind for focus. This could be quiet reflection, journaling, or reviewing your goals. Starting the day intentionally sets a tone of clarity and purpose. Ending your day with reflection or planning primes your mind for rest and prepares you for tomorrow. These bookends create a mental rhythm that enhances your overall routine. Pay attention to your environment as part of your routine design. A clean, organized, and comfortable space supports mental clarity. Minimize distractions by controlling noise, lighting, and clutter. Your environment either aids or hinders your focus. Intentionally shaping your surroundings makes it easier to enter a state of deep thinking and productive work. Evaluate your routine regularly. Assess what is working and what isn't. Are certain habits energizing or draining? Are you consistently following your schedule or frequently distracted? Use this feedback to refine your routine and keep it aligned with your mental and life goals. This iterative process ensures your routine remains relevant and effective. Engage in mental warm-ups to prime your thinking. Activities like reading a challenging article, writing down your thoughts, or solving puzzles can prepare your brain for deeper work. Including these warm-ups in your routine sharpens your focus and transitions you smoothly into complex tasks. Connect your routine to your larger purpose. When your daily habits align with meaningful goals, motivation increases. Your mind becomes sharper because it is engaged in work that matters. Remind yourself regularly why your routine exists. This connection sustains commitment and infuses your actions with energy and intention. Avoid multitasking within your routine. Focus on one task at a time to maximize mental sharpness. Switching tasks divides attention and reduces effectiveness. Train your brain to concentrate deeply by dedicating uninterrupted time to each activity. This practice enhances quality and speed of your work. Incorporate learning opportunities consistently. Continuous growth keeps your mind agile and adaptable. Whether it is reading, listening to podcasts, or practicing new skills, make learning a non-negotiable part of your routine. This habit cultivates curiosity and keeps your brain engaged. Prioritize tasks that require the most mental effort during your peak energy times. Notice when your mind feels freshest and schedule demanding activities, then save routine or administrative work for lower energy periods. Aligning your routine with your natural rhythms boosts productivity and mental clarity. Set clear boundaries around your routine to protect your time. Communicate your schedule to others and minimize interruptions during focus periods. Guarding your routine creates a safe space for your mind to work deeply. This discipline reinforces your ownership over your mental environment. Celebrate small wins within your routine. Recognize when you complete tasks, maintain habits, or overcome distractions. Positive reinforcement strengthens your commitment and builds confidence. These moments of acknowledgement fuel your ongoing dedication to mental sharpening. Use visualization to enhance routine adherence. Picture yourself moving through your schedule with focus and ease. Visualizing success prepares your brain to perform well and reduces resistance. This mental rehearsal supports consistency and motivation. Integrate moments of mindfulness within your routine. Brief pauses to breathe deeply or center your attention. Refresh your mind. Mindfulness breaks prevent overwhelm and maintain clarity throughout the day. Remember that designing a clear routine is a personal process. Experiment with different habits and schedules to find what fits your unique needs and goals. Your routine should be a tool that serves you, not a burden to bear. Commit to creating and maintaining a routine that prioritizes your mental clarity and growth. This commitment is an investment in your ability to own your mind and shape your life. With intention, consistency, and flexibility, your routine becomes the backbone of sharp thinking, resilience, and purposeful action. Chapter 8. Challenge your fears by doing hard things daily. Fear is one of the most powerful forces that can hold a person back from reaching their full potential. It shows up in many forms: fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of discomfort, or fear of the unknown. While fear can be protective in certain situations, most often it acts as a barrier that keeps you stuck in safe but unfulfilling patterns. To own your mind fully, you must learn to confront fear regularly by intentionally doing hard things every day. This practice builds courage, expands your capacity, and rewires your brain to embrace challenge rather than avoid it. Avoiding difficult tasks or uncomfortable emotions creates a cycle of shrinking confidence. Every time you step away from a challenge, your mind receives a message that fear is valid and safety lies in avoidance. Over time, this reinforces the belief that you are limited and vulnerable. Conversely, choosing to face fears head-on sends a message that you are stronger than your doubts. Each small victory grows your inner power and weakens fear's grip. This is how mental resilience is forged. The process begins with recognizing your fears honestly. Take time to identify what you tend to avoid or feel anxious about. This could be public speaking, difficult conversations, physical exertion, or taking risks in your career or relationships. Naming these fears removes some of their power because it brings them into the light. Fear thrives in the unknown and vague. Clarity diminishes its influence. Once you know what you fear, you can plan specific actions to confront it. Start with manageable challenges that push your comfort zone without overwhelming you. This might mean initiating a conversation you've been putting off, trying a new workout, or tackling a task that feels difficult. The key is consistency and intentionality, choosing to do something hard daily, even if small. These incremental challenges build momentum and reinforce your belief in your ability to cope and succeed. Approach these challenges with a mindset of curiosity and learning, rather than a need for perfection or immediate success. Fear often exaggerates consequences and focuses on worst-case scenarios. Instead, view hard things as experiments that provide valuable feedback. Even if the outcome isn't perfect, the experience itself builds courage and skill. This shift from judgment to exploration reduces anxiety and opens the door for growth. Use visualization to prepare yourself for facing fear. Imagine yourself approaching the difficult situation with confidence and calm. Picture the steps you will take and how you will respond to obstacles. This mental rehearsal builds familiarity and reduces the power of uncertainty. Visualization primes your brain to handle stress more effectively and increases your chances of success. Develop a support system that encourages you to challenge fears. Share your goals with trusted friends, mentors, or coaches who can hold you accountable and provide encouragement. Knowing someone believes in your ability strengthens your commitment and motivation. Support also reminds you that facing fears is a shared human experience, not a lonely battle. Celebrate each time you do something hard, no matter the size. Acknowledge the courage it took to move forward and the growth that occurred. This positive reinforcement creates a feedback loop that motivates further action. Reflect on how facing challenges expands your confidence and changes your self-image. You begin to see yourself as someone who rises to difficulties rather than retreats from them. Remember that discomfort is a natural part of growth. Doing hard things daily means accepting moments of unease, uncertainty, and even failure. These experiences are not signs of weakness, but indicators that you are stretching your limits. Embrace discomfort as a teacher and ally on your path to mental mastery. Over time, your tolerance for discomfort increases, and fear loses its ability to control your decisions. Develop rituals that signal readiness to face challenges. This might be a few deep breaths, a focused mantra, or a physical cue like standing tall or clenching your fists. Rituals create a mental shift from hesitation to action. They anchor you in the present moment and provide a sense of control. Repeating these rituals before difficult tasks strengthens your ability to face fear with composure. Learn to separate fear from actual danger. Often, fear arises from imagined scenarios rather than real threats. Practicing mindful awareness helps you distinguish between genuine risks and mental exaggerations. This clarity prevents unnecessary paralysis and allows you to act decisively. When fear is grounded in reality, you can respond strategically. When it is unfounded, you can let it go. Track your progress by keeping a journal or log of the hard things you do each day. Writing down what you faced, how you felt, and what you learned creates a record of growth. Reviewing this log during moments of doubt reminds you of your increasing strength and resilience. Documentation also helps identify patterns and areas for further challenge. Avoid comparing your journey to others. Everyone's fears and challenges are unique. Focus on your own progress and celebrate your personal victories. Comparison often breeds discouragement and distraction. Instead, draw inspiration from others' stories while maintaining commitment to your path. Your courage builds at your own pace and shape. Challenge your mindset about failure. Fear of failure is a major obstacle, but failure itself is not the enemy. Failure is feedback, a chance to adjust and improve. Redefine failure as a necessary step in mastery rather than a reflection of worth. This shift reduces fear's power and encourages experimentation. Doing hard things daily inevitably includes setbacks, but these become stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks. Use physical exercise as a daily practice to confront fear. Physical challenges teach discipline, endurance, and mental toughness. When you push your body beyond comfort, your mind learns to manage stress and discomfort. This resilience transfers to other areas of life, making it easier to face psychological fears. Exercise is a practical and accessible way to build overall courage. Develop mental toughness by focusing on what you can control. Fear often arises from uncertainty about outcomes. Redirect your attention to actions and attitudes you can influence. Taking responsibility for your response to fear empowers you and reduces helplessness. This focus on controllable factors is a cornerstone of owning your mind. Maintain patience and self-compassion throughout this process. Growth through challenge is rarely linear. You will have days when fear feels overwhelming or progress stalls. Treat yourself with kindness and understanding rather than harsh judgment. Recognize that courage is a muscle that strengthens with practice and time. Integrate moments of reflection after facing fear. Ask yourself what you learned, how you felt, and what you would do differently. Reflection deepens insight and reinforces growth. It also turns each challenge into a lesson that builds wisdom alongside courage. Practice gratitude for the opportunities to face fear. Gratitude shifts your mindset from scarcity to abundance. It helps you see challenges as chances to expand rather than threats to avoid. Cultivating gratitude nourishes resilience and positive thinking. Remember that daily challenges create momentum that carries you forward. Courage compounds with each act of boldness. Over time, facing hard things becomes a habit that shapes your identity. You become someone who embraces discomfort and pursues growth relentlessly. Commit to making challenge a non-negotiable part of your routine. This commitment signals to your mind that fear is no longer in charge. It replaces hesitation with action and doubt with confidence. Doing hard things daily transforms fear from a barrier into a bridge toward mastery. You hold the power to choose bravery over avoidance. Each difficult step you take is a declaration of ownership over your mind and your life. This path is not easy, but it is deeply rewarding. Challenge your fears with discipline, consistency, and courage. Your growth depends on it. Chapter 9. Feed your brain with knowledge that builds clarity. The quality of your thoughts depends largely on the information you feed your brain. Just as your body requires nutritious food to function well, your mind needs knowledge that brings clarity and sharpens understanding. Feeding your brain with purposeful, accurate, and meaningful knowledge is an essential practice for anyone committed to owning their mind. This process does more than increase facts or data. It develops wisdom and focus, allowing you to see your path clearly and make sound decisions confidently. Knowledge that builds clarity is not about overwhelming yourself with random information. It requires intentional selection of what you consume based on your goals and values. When you feed your brain indiscriminately with every piece of news, social media update, or trivial conversation, you risk cluttering your mind with distractions and confusion. To strengthen your mental clarity, prioritize sources that educate, inspire, and challenge your thinking in constructive ways. Start by creating a learning plan that aligns with your personal and professional aspirations. Identify areas where you want to improve or grow, such as emotional intelligence, leadership, health, or creativity. This focused approach helps you filter out irrelevant content and concentrate on knowledge that truly matters. A well-curated learning plan keeps your mind engaged with relevant ideas and practical insights rather than scattered and shallow information. Engage with a variety of learning formats to deepen your understanding. Reading books provides depth and context, while podcasts offer diverse perspectives during times when reading isn't possible. Videos can explain complex ideas visually, and conversations with mentors or peers allow for immediate clarification and feedback. Combining different methods ensures your brain processes information actively and from multiple angles, strengthening retention and insight. Practice active learning to transform information into meaningful knowledge. This means questioning what you read or hear, connecting new ideas to existing understanding, and applying concepts in real life. Passively consuming content without reflection wastes mental energy and limits growth. Take notes, summarize key points in your own words, and discuss ideas with others to solidify your grasp. This active engagement builds clarity by turning facts into wisdom. Limit multitasking during learning sessions to maintain focus. When your attention is divided, your brain struggles to process information deeply. Creating an environment with minimal distractions enhances comprehension and memory. Set specific times for learning when your mind is fresh and alert. This intentional focus increases the quality of your knowledge intake and speeds up mastery. Be selective about your sources. Seek out experts and trusted authorities in your areas of interest. Avoid sensationalist media or unreliable outlets that prioritize entertainment over truth. Developing a critical mindset towards information helps you discern valuable knowledge from noise. This discernment is a key skill in maintaining mental clarity and preventing misinformation from clouding your judgment. Integrate knowledge regularly to prevent overload. Spread your learning over time instead of cramming. This steady intake allows your brain to process and store information effectively. Spaced repetition and revisiting concepts reinforce neural connections and deepen understanding. A steady diet of learning supports sustained mental clarity and sharpness. Balance acquiring knowledge with moments of quiet reflection. Clarity often emerges not while absorbing information, but when your mind has space to process it. Schedule breaks after learning sessions to meditate, journal, or simply be still. This downtime consolidates insights and allows your brain to organize thoughts logically. Reflection turns raw data into clear, actionable understanding. Apply what you learn immediately. Knowledge without action is like food without digestion. It doesn't nourish. Practicing new skills, testing ideas, or adjusting habits based on what you've learned cements clarity and builds confidence. Real-world application provides feedback, deepens insight, and motivates continued learning. The cycle of learning and doing sharpens your mind more than any passive study. Challenge yourself to question assumptions and explore alternative viewpoints. Intellectual humility is vital to gaining clarity. Being open to changing your mind based on evidence and reason prevents rigid thinking and mental stagnation. Engaging with diverse perspectives expands your understanding and uncovers blind spots. This mental flexibility enhances decision-making and problem-solving abilities. Create a habit of summarizing your knowledge regularly. Writing summaries or teaching concepts to others forces you to clarify and simplify complex information. This process reveals gaps in understanding and reinforces key points. Teaching is one of the most effective ways to solidify mental clarity and mastery. Guard against information overload by setting boundaries. Decide how much time you will dedicate daily to learning and stick to it. Overexposure to information can lead to fatigue, confusion, and indecision. Quality over quantity is the guiding principle. Focused, intentional learning yields clearer thinking and more meaningful growth. Seek knowledge that aligns with your core values. When learning supports your purpose, it fuels motivation and commitment. Knowledge disconnected from your values tends to feel burdensome or irrelevant, making it harder to integrate. Let your values guide your intellectual pursuits for sustained clarity and fulfillment. Monitor the impact of your learning on your mindset and actions. Notice how new knowledge influences your confidence, perspective, and choices. Reflect on whether it helps you simplify complex situations or creates unnecessary complication. Use this awareness to refine your learning sources and methods. Continuous adjustment ensures that what you feed your brain truly builds clarity. Engage with communities or groups that share your learning goals. Discussion and collaboration enhance understanding and reveal practical applications. Being part of a learning community provides accountability and encouragement. Shared exploration of ideas accelerates growth and mental sharpness. Use technology wisely to support your knowledge growth. Tools like digital libraries, educational apps, and online courses offer vast opportunities, but require disciplined use. Avoid distraction traps by setting clear goals and limits on digital consumption. Harness technology as a tool, not a source of overwhelm. Recognize that knowledge is a lifelong journey, not a destination. Staying curious and committed to learning keeps your mind agile and prepared for change. Avoid complacency by regularly updating your understanding and skills. A growth mindset maintains mental clarity through continuous adaptation. Celebrate the clarity that comes from informed thinking. Appreciate how knowledge frees you from confusion, fear, and indecision. Recognizing the power of what you learn reinforces your commitment to feeding your brain well. Begin today by choosing one area to focus your learning. Identify a trusted source and dedicate time to absorb and reflect on this knowledge. Notice how this focused effort creates mental clarity and direction. Build on this foundation daily and watch your mind become sharper, wiser, and more capable of owning every aspect of your life. Feeding your brain with knowledge that builds clarity is an act of self-respect and empowerment. It transforms scattered thoughts into a coherent vision, and noisy confusion into focused intention. When your mind is clear, you navigate life with confidence and purpose. Commit to this practice and let knowledge light your path to mastery. Chapter 10. Choose silence often to strengthen your awareness. Silence is a powerful tool that many underestimate in today's noisy world. Choosing silence intentionally offers a unique space where your mind can slow down, recalibrate, and strengthen awareness. In silence, distractions fade, and you gain the clarity needed to connect deeply with your thoughts and emotions. This practice cultivates a heightened state of presence that sharpens your mental focus and enhances your ability to own your mind fully. When life is filled with constant noise, whether from devices, conversations, or internal chatter, your mind becomes scattered. This scattering drains your mental energy and blurs your understanding of what truly matters. Regularly embracing silence creates a mental sanctuary where your thoughts are no longer rushed or cluttered. It allows you to observe your mind with greater clarity and develop the discipline to choose your focus rather than be pulled by external stimuli. Silence also acts as a mirror, reflecting your true mental state without interference. When you remove sound and busyness, you can detect subtle feelings, thoughts, and patterns that usually go unnoticed. This increased self-awareness is the foundation of self-mastery. By choosing silence, you create an opportunity to recognize what your mind is holding on to, what thoughts dominate, and where your energy flows. This knowledge is essential for making intentional changes. Choosing silence does not mean isolating yourself or avoiding interaction. It is about creating moments within your day where noise is paused and attention is turned inward. These moments can be brief yet transformative. Even a few minutes of quiet reflection can reset your mental state and boost your ability to concentrate. Over time, these small pockets of silence accumulate, resulting in a more disciplined and aware mind. Practicing silence enhances your listening skills. When you quiet external noise, you become more attuned to subtle signals from your body, environment, and intuition. This deep listening helps you respond rather than react impulsively. It strengthens your ability to understand yourself and others more clearly. This kind of awareness improves decision-making and emotional regulation. Silence sharpens your focus by eliminating distractions. When your surroundings are calm, your brain can direct its full attention to the task or thought at hand. This focused state increases productivity and creativity. It allows complex problems to be solved more easily and insights to emerge spontaneously. Choosing silence regularly conditions your mind to enter these states of deep concentration on demand. In silence, your internal dialogue becomes clearer. Without competing noise, you can hear your true thoughts and beliefs more distinctly. This clarity helps you identify unhelpful patterns, doubts, or limiting beliefs that might otherwise be buried beneath the chaos of daily life. With this awareness, you can consciously choose to nurture empowering thoughts and discard those that weaken your confidence. Silence encourages mindfulness. It invites you to be present in the moment without judgment or distraction. This presence reduces stress and cultivates peace. The calmer your mind becomes through silence, the easier it is to observe thoughts and emotions without becoming overwhelmed. Mindful awareness gained in silence supports resilience and emotional balance. Choosing silence is a practice that requires discipline because it goes against the natural pull of stimulation. The world often equates silence with emptiness or boredom, but it is actually a space full of potential. Cultivating comfort with silence builds mental strength and patience. It trains your mind to be steady and grounded, even when external noise is overwhelming. Incorporate silence intentionally into your routine. Begin with short periods, such as sitting quietly before starting your day or taking a few deep breaths before meals. Gradually increase the duration as you become more comfortable. Use silence as a tool to prepare for important decisions, reflect on experiences, or simply rest your mind. This consistent practice will deepen your awareness and enhance your mental clarity. Silence also fosters creativity. When the mind is quiet, it can access deeper levels of imagination and insight. Many great ideas arise during moments of stillness, because your brain is free from distraction and able to connect seemingly unrelated concepts. Embrace silence as a creative space that fuels innovation and problem-solving. Avoid the temptation to fill silence with unnecessary noise or mental chatter. Recognize when your mind tries to escape quiet by generating worries, plans, or distractions. Gently bring your focus back to the present moment and the experience of silence itself. This effort strengthens your ability to sit with discomfort and strengthens mental discipline. Surround yourself with environments that support silence. Seek out quiet places where you can retreat and recharge. Nature often provides the perfect backdrop for silence, offering sounds that calm rather than distract. Creating a personal sanctuary at home or work encourages regular silent moments and signals to your brain that it is time to reset. Notice how choosing silence impacts your emotional state. Silence provides space to process feelings fully rather than suppressing or reacting to them immediately. This processing leads to emotional clarity and reduces impulsive behavior. Over time, you develop emotional intelligence that allows for thoughtful responses and healthier relationships. Use silence to deepen gratitude. In quiet moments, reflect on what you appreciate in your life. This practice shifts your mindset from scarcity to abundance and fosters contentment. Gratitude expressed in silence anchors your awareness in positivity and resilience. Recognize that silence is a form of self-respect. By giving yourself permission to step away from noise and distraction, you honor your need for mental rest and clarity. This respect strengthens your commitment to owning your mind and living intentionally. Silence can also reveal your true priorities. When distractions fade, your values and goals become more apparent. This clarity guides your choices and helps you focus on what truly matters. Choosing silence regularly aligns your actions with your deeper purpose. Incorporate breathing techniques into your silent moments to enhance awareness. Deep, slow breaths calm the nervous system and bring attention to the present. This physiological effect supports mental clarity and reduces anxiety, making silence even more restorative. Be patient with yourself as you develop the habit of choosing silence. Initially, your mind may resist or feel restless. These reactions are natural and indicate growth. Persist through discomfort, knowing that each silent moment builds your capacity for awareness and control. Practice kindness toward yourself in silence. Use this time not only for observation, but also for encouragement and self-compassion. Positive inner dialogue, in quiet moments, nurtures confidence and reduces self-criticism. Silence strengthens your ability to listen deeply to others. When your mind is accustomed to quiet, you are less likely to interrupt or jump to conclusions. This attentive listening improves communication and builds stronger connections. Recognize that silence is not emptiness, but fullness. It is a rich mental landscape where insight, peace, and clarity reside. Choosing silence invites you to explore this landscape and develop mastery over your mind. Commit to making silence a regular and intentional part of your life. This commitment transforms silence from a rare luxury into a daily source of strength. Through consistent practice, you will find your mind clearer, your awareness sharper, and your life more purposeful. Begin now by choosing a few minutes each day for silent presence. Notice how this practice changes your thoughts, feelings, and focus. With time, silence will become a trusted ally on your journey to owning your own mind fully and deeply. Chapter 11. Track your thoughts and redirect weak thinking fast. Tracking your thoughts is a crucial step toward mastering your mind. Often, your thinking happens automatically, influenced by habits and external triggers, without conscious awareness. This automatic nature makes it easy for weak or unhelpful thoughts to take root and shape your emotions and actions negatively. To own your mind, you must become an active observer of your thought patterns, identifying and redirecting those that undermine your confidence, clarity, and progress. Developing this skill transforms mental chaos into intentional and powerful thinking. The first step in tracking your thoughts is cultivating awareness. Pay close attention to what your mind dwells on throughout the day. Notice recurring themes, especially those that provoke doubt, fear, or confusion. Awareness is not about judging yourself harshly, but about gathering information on how your mind operates. This observation provides a clear starting point for change, because you cannot fix what you do not see. Journaling is one of the most effective tools for tracking thoughts. Writing down your thoughts regularly externalizes your mental activity, making patterns visible. Record situations that trigger strong emotional reactions and the thoughts that accompany them. Over time, you will identify common weak thinking such as catastrophizing, all or nothing perspectives, or self-critical narratives. This written record serves as a map of your mental landscape and highlights areas needing redirection. Develop a habit of pausing during moments of stress or doubt to examine your thoughts consciously. This pause interrupts automatic thinking and creates space for choice. Ask yourself what you are telling yourself in that moment and whether these thoughts are factual or distorted. This practice trains your mind to catch weak thinking quickly before it escalates or influences your behavior. Once you recognize weak or unhelpful thoughts, redirecting them becomes essential. Redirection involves consciously replacing negative or limiting thoughts with constructive alternatives. This does not mean ignoring problems or forcing positivity, but choosing thoughts that are realistic, solution-focused, and empowering. For example, transform "I always fail" into "I am learning and improving with each attempt." This shift changes your emotional response and energizes you toward action. Create a list of powerful, positive affirmations that resonate with your values and goals. Use these affirmations as tools to redirect weak thinking when it arises. Repeating affirmations strengthens neural pathways associated with confidence and resilience. Over time, these positive thoughts become the default, replacing outdated and harmful mental habits. Practice questioning your thoughts rigorously, challenge the evidence supporting weak thoughts, and consider alternative explanations. Often, negative thinking is based on assumptions rather than facts. This critical examination weakens the hold of destructive thoughts and fosters a more balanced perspective. The habit of questioning thoughts sharpens your mental clarity and empowers decision-making. Use visualization to support thought redirection. Imagine yourself responding calmly and confidently to situations that typically trigger weak thinking. Visualize replacing negative thoughts with positive ones and feeling the emotional shift that follows. This mental rehearsal strengthens your ability to implement redirection in real time. Engage in mindfulness exercises to enhance thought tracking and redirection. Mindfulness develops present moment awareness, making it easier to notice thoughts as they arise without becoming entangled. This non-judgmental observation creates the mental distance needed to choose how to respond. Regular mindfulness practice builds mental flexibility and emotional regulation. Surround yourself with environments and people that support positive thinking. Negative influences can reinforce weak thought patterns and make redirection more difficult. Seek relationships and spaces that encourage growth, optimism, and accountability. These external supports amplify your internal efforts and maintain momentum. Set specific goals for thought tracking and redirection. For example, commit to journaling your thoughts daily or practicing mindful pauses 3 times a day. Clear goals increase consistency and create measurable progress. Celebrate milestones to reinforce your commitment and acknowledge your growing mental strength. Recognize the signs that indicate you need to redirect your thinking. Physical symptoms like tension, rapid heartbeat, or shallow breathing often accompany weak thoughts. Emotional cues such as anxiety, irritability, or sadness also signal mental distress. Becoming attuned to these signals allows you to intervene quickly before negative thoughts spiral out of control. Develop rituals that cue your mind to track and redirect thoughts. This might include setting alarms as reminders, using specific breathing techniques, or creating visual prompts in your environment. Rituals make the practice automatic and less effortful over time, embedding it into your daily routine. Avoid harsh self-criticism when weak thoughts appear. Remember that everyone experiences unhelpful thinking at times. Treat these moments as opportunities for growth rather than failures. Kindness and patience foster a supportive internal environment that encourages lasting change. Practice gratitude to counterbalance weak thinking. Shifting attention to what you appreciate in your life creates positive emotional states that reduce the power of negative thoughts. Gratitude acts as a mental reset and reinforces a hopeful outlook. Use problem-solving strategies alongside thought redirection. When weak thinking relates to specific challenges, develop actionable steps to address the issue. This practical approach reduces feelings of helplessness and replaces rumination with constructive action. Educate yourself about cognitive distortions and common thinking errors. Understanding these mental traps increases your ability to identify and correct them. This knowledge empowers you to maintain mental discipline and clarity. Integrate physical movement into your routine to support mental tracking. Exercise releases chemicals that improve mood and cognitive function, making it easier to manage thoughts. Even brief walks can provide mental space for reflection and reset. Maintain flexibility in your approach. Some weak thoughts may require more time and effort to change. Be open to adjusting techniques and seeking additional support if needed. This adaptability ensures sustained progress. Reflect regularly on your thought-tracking journey. Review your journal entries and notice improvements or recurring challenges. Use this insight to refine your strategies and deepen your understanding of your mind. Recognize the connection between your thoughts and your identity. Changing your thinking reshapes how you see yourself and your possibilities. Owning your mind means owning your story and choosing thoughts that support the person you want to become. Commit to daily practice of tracking and redirecting thoughts. Consistency builds the habit and rewires your brain for strength and clarity. Each moment you catch and shift weak thinking is a victory that solidifies your control over your mind. By becoming vigilant about your thoughts and swift in redirecting weak ones, you transform mental patterns from obstacles into stepping stones. This disciplined practice leads to a clearer, stronger, and more resilient mind, capable of guiding you through life's challenges with confidence and purpose. Your journey to owning your mind begins with the simple yet powerful act of tracking what you think and choosing better thoughts without delay. Chapter 12. Protect your mind from people who drain you. Protecting your mind from people who drain you is essential to maintaining mental strength and clarity. Energy is a precious resource, and not everyone deserves access to it. Some individuals, consciously or unconsciously, sap your emotional and mental reserves through negativity, criticism, drama, or constant demands. Allowing these influences to persist weakens your focus, diminishes your confidence, and clouds your thinking. To own your mind fully, you must learn to recognize these draining interactions and establish boundaries that preserve your well-being. Start by becoming aware of how different people affect your mental state. Notice who leaves you feeling exhausted, anxious, or doubtful after conversations or encounters. These feelings are indicators that your energy has been depleted. Awareness helps you identify relationships that require attention. It is not necessary to cut everyone off, but understanding the impact is the first step toward protection. Set clear boundaries with those who drain your mind. Boundaries define what behavior you will accept and what you will not. Communicate these limits respectfully, but firmly. For example, you might limit the time you spend with negative individuals or avoid certain topics that trigger conflict. Boundaries act as a shield, preventing harmful interactions from invading your mental space. Learn to say no without guilt. Saying no is a powerful tool for preserving your energy. It protects your time and emotional reserves from being overwhelmed by others' demands. Practice asserting your needs calmly and clearly. This assertiveness signals that your mental health is a priority and discourages people from taking advantage of your goodwill. Choose your company wisely. Surround yourself with people who uplift, inspire, and support your growth. Positive relationships replenish your energy and strengthen your mind. Invest time and attention in those who encourage your goals and reflect your values. This intentional social environment creates a protective circle around your mental well-being. Limit exposure to gossip and toxic conversations. Engaging in or listening to negativity breeds stress and confusion. Refuse to participate in discussions that spread judgment, fear, or resentment. Redirect conversations toward constructive and meaningful topics. This choice fosters a healthier mental atmosphere and reduces unnecessary mental clutter. Develop emotional detachment skills. Sometimes, you cannot avoid draining people, especially in family or work contexts. In these cases, practice observing their behavior without absorbing their negativity. Maintain an inner distance that protects your emotions and thoughts. Detachment does not mean ignoring or being cold, but preserving your inner peace amid external turbulence. Use visualization techniques to reinforce mental boundaries. Imagine a protective barrier around your mind that filters out harmful influences while allowing positive energy in. This mental image strengthens your resolve and makes boundary enforcement easier. Visualization also reminds you that you control what affects your mind. Monitor your reactions to draining individuals. Notice if you become defensive, reactive, or withdrawn. These reactions indicate that your mental space is compromised. Respond to these signals by stepping back, taking deep breaths, or excusing yourself from the situation. Self-awareness in these moments prevents deeper mental exhaustion. Create physical spaces that support mental protection. Designate areas in your home or workplace where you can retreat and recharge. These spaces should be free from negativity and distractions. Spending time in such environments replenishes your energy and prepares you to face challenging interactions with resilience. Practice self-care rigorously. Physical health, rest, nutrition, and relaxation directly influence your mental defenses. When your body is strong and rested, you are less susceptible to the effects of draining people. Prioritize these basics as a foundation for mental protection. Communicate openly with trusted friends or mentors about your experiences. Sharing challenges relieves emotional burdens and provides perspective. Others can offer advice, encouragement, or practical solutions to maintain boundaries. Supportive dialogue reinforces your commitment to protecting your mind. Avoid over-explaining your boundaries or decisions. People who drain your energy may try to guilt or manipulate you into compliance. Stand firm without excessive justification. Confidence in your choices reduces the likelihood of pushback and preserves your mental energy. Practice forgiveness for yourself and others. Holding resentment toward those who drain you only prolongs mental suffering. Forgiveness is a tool for releasing emotional burdens and reclaiming your peace. It does not mean condoning harmful behavior, but freeing your mind from ongoing conflict. Cultivate positive self-talk to counteract any internalized negativity from draining interactions. Affirm your worth, strengths, and goals regularly. Positive internal dialogue strengthens your resilience and keeps your mind focused on growth rather than damage. Stay mindful of social media and digital interactions. Online environments can be sources of mental drain through negativity, comparison, or overwhelming information. Limit time spent on platforms that affect your mental state negatively. Curate your digital connections to support positivity and inspiration. Develop rituals that mark transitions from draining interactions to self-care. This might include a walk, deep breathing, journaling, or listening to uplifting music. These rituals help you reset your mind quickly and maintain balance. Recognize that protecting your mind is an ongoing process. Relationships and circumstances change, requiring adjustments in boundaries and strategies. Stay flexible and attentive to your mental state. Regularly evaluate who and what influences your mind to ensure continued protection. Understand that protecting your mind enhances your ability to help others. When you are mentally strong and clear, you can offer support without becoming overwhelmed. Mental protection is not selfish, it is essential for sustained generosity and effectiveness. Choose activities that nourish your mind and spirit daily. Engaging in hobbies, learning, meditation, or creative pursuits builds inner resources that counteract draining influences. These positive engagements strengthen your overall mental environment. Trust your intuition about people and situations. Your subconscious often senses subtle cues that signal potential mental drain. Honoring this intuition helps you avoid or minimize harmful interactions. Recognize the difference between challenge and drain. Some difficult people or situations require patience and effort, but ultimately contribute to growth. Draining influences, however, consistently deplete without benefit. Learning to distinguish these helps you allocate your energy wisely. Maintain a mindset of abundance rather than scarcity in relationships. Believe that you can create or find connections that uplift rather than drain. This mindset empowers you to seek and attract positive influences confidently. Set time limits on unavoidable draining interactions. Use tools like alarms or schedules to remind you when it's time to disengage. This practical approach prevents overexposure and preserves mental energy. Practice gratitude for relationships that support your mind. Focusing on positive connections shifts your attention away from draining influences and reinforces a healthy mental state. Reflect regularly on the effectiveness of your mental protection strategies. Adjust them as needed to meet your evolving needs. This ongoing commitment strengthens your ability to own your mind fully. Protecting your mind from people who drain you is an act of self-respect and empowerment. It requires awareness, boundaries, and consistent action. By valuing your mental energy and making deliberate choices, you create a safe space for your mind to thrive. This protection enables you to live with clarity, strength, and purpose, fully owning every aspect of your mental world. Chapter 13. Practice deep focus on one goal every day. Protecting your mind from people who drain you is essential for maintaining mental clarity, energy, and resilience. Your mental space is precious, and it deserves to be guarded carefully. When you allow others who sap your energy to dominate your thoughts and emotions, you lose control over your inner world. Taking steps to protect yourself is not only an act of self-care, but also a fundamental practice for owning your mind and directing your life with intention. Begin by developing sensitivity to how you feel after interacting with different individuals. Pay attention to subtle shifts in your mood and energy. If you notice fatigue, irritation, or anxiety following certain encounters, these are signs your mental resources are being depleted. Recognizing these feelings early helps you take timely action before prolonged exposure causes deeper harm. Establish boundaries with people who drain your energy. Boundaries clarify what behaviors you will accept and where your limits lie. Communicating these boundaries clearly and calmly sets expectations and protects your mental space. For example, you can limit the frequency and duration of interactions or avoid topics that provoke negativity. Consistent boundary enforcement empowers you to maintain control over your mental environment. Practice saying no without hesitation or guilt. Many people struggle with declining requests or invitations because of fear of disappointing others. However, saying no is a critical skill for mental preservation. It allows you to allocate your time and energy to what truly supports your growth and well-being. Respecting your own limits reinforces your mental strength and teaches others to do the same. Curate your social circle intentionally. Surround yourself with individuals who inspire, support, and energize you. Positive relationships act as a source of renewal and motivation. Prioritize spending time with those who uplift your spirit and encourage your goals. This selective approach creates a protective buffer against draining influences and enriches your mental life. Limit your exposure to gossip, complaints, and toxic conversations. Participating in or overhearing negative dialogue fuels stress and confusion. Make a conscious choice to steer conversations toward constructive topics or gracefully exit situations filled with negativity. This practice reduces mental clutter and fosters a more peaceful internal atmosphere. Develop emotional detachment strategies for unavoidable draining people, such as co-workers or family members. This means observing their words and behaviors without internalizing their negativity. Maintain an emotional distance that shields your inner peace while still engaging appropriately. Detachment is not indifference. It is a skillful way to protect your mental boundaries amid challenging interactions. Visualize your mental space as a sanctuary. Imagine a protective shield that filters out harmful energy and negativity while allowing positive influences to flow in. Regularly reinforcing this mental image strengthens your resolve and makes it easier to uphold boundaries in real life. Visualization is a practical technique that builds inner resilience and control. Monitor your physical and emotional responses during draining encounters. Notice signs like tension, shallow breathing, or increased heart rate. These signals indicate your mind is under stress and needs relief. When you detect these cues, take deliberate steps to pause, breathe deeply, or remove yourself temporarily. Responding to these early warnings preserves your mental energy. Create personal spaces free from negativity. Whether at home or work, designate areas where you can retreat to recharge mentally. These environments should promote calm and focus, allowing you to restore balance. Regular time spent in such spaces replenishes your capacity to handle external stresses. Engage in self-care practices consistently. Physical health, sleep, nutrition, and relaxation significantly influence your mental defenses. When your body is strong and well rested, your mind is less vulnerable to the effects of draining people. Prioritize these foundational habits to support your mental well-being. Seek support from trusted friends, mentors, or counselors when navigating draining relationships. Sharing your experiences provides perspective and emotional relief. Others can offer strategies, encouragement, and accountability that bolster your efforts to protect your mind. Avoid over-explaining or justifying your boundaries. Some individuals may attempt to guilt or manipulate you into lowering your defenses. Stand firm in your decisions without excessive explanations. Clear and confident communication reduces resistance and preserves your energy. Practice forgiveness toward yourself and others. Holding on to resentment or anger prolongs mental turmoil and drains your strength. Forgiveness releases these burdens and allows your mind to heal. It does not mean excusing harmful behavior, but choosing peace over ongoing conflict. Cultivate positive self-talk to counteract any lingering effects of draining interactions. Affirm your worth, strengths, and progress regularly. This internal encouragement fortifies your resilience and maintains focus on your growth. Be mindful of digital interactions. Social media and online communication can be sources of mental drain through exposure to negativity, comparison, or overwhelming content. Limit time spent on platforms that harm your mental state. Curate your digital connections to include those that inspire and uplift. Develop rituals that help you recover quickly after draining encounters. Activities like walking, deep breathing, journaling, or listening to uplifting music can reset your mental state. These practices create a healthy rhythm between exposure and restoration. Recognize that protecting your mind is an ongoing effort. Relationships and circumstances evolve, requiring you to reassess and adjust boundaries regularly. Stay attentive to your mental health and proactive in maintaining your defenses. Understand that mental protection enhances your ability to support others effectively. When you maintain your mental clarity and strength, you can offer help and guidance without becoming depleted. Protecting yourself is foundational to sustained generosity and leadership. Engage daily in activities that nourish your mind and soul. Pursue hobbies, learning, meditation, or creative expressions that build inner resources. These positive practices reinforce your mental environment and reduce vulnerability to draining influences. Trust your intuition when evaluating people and situations. Your subconscious often detects subtle signs of potential mental drain before your conscious mind does. Honoring these instincts helps you avoid or minimize harmful interactions. Differentiate between challenging relationships that foster growth and those that consistently drain you without benefit. Patience and effort in the former lead to personal development, while the latter only deplete your resources. Learning this distinction guides your energy investment wisely. Adopt an abundance mindset regarding your social connections. Believe that you can cultivate or find relationships that energize rather than exhaust you. This perspective empowers you to seek and attract positive influences confidently. Set time limits for interactions with draining people. Use tools like timers or schedules to remind yourself when to disengage. This practical approach prevents prolonged exposure and safeguards your mental reserves. Express gratitude regularly for the supportive people in your life. Focusing on positive relationships shifts your mental focus from depletion to renewal and reinforces a healthy mindset. Evaluate the effectiveness of your mental protection strategies periodically. Reflect on what works and what needs adjustment. This ongoing review strengthens your ability to maintain control over your mind. Protecting your mind from people who drain you is a vital commitment to your mental freedom and well-being. By cultivating awareness, setting boundaries, and practicing self-care, you build a safe and empowering mental space. This protection allows you to live with clarity, confidence, and purpose, fully owning your mind and the life you create. Chapter 14. Review your progress to grow with direction daily. Reviewing your progress every day is a powerful habit that drives consistent growth and ensures you move with clear purpose. Without regular reflection, it's easy to lose track of your goals and fall into routines that don't serve your best interests. Taking time each day to evaluate what you've accomplished and where you can improve creates a sense of direction and momentum. This process sharpens your focus, builds self-awareness, and helps you make intentional choices that align with your highest aspirations. The first step in daily review is setting aside a quiet moment to honestly assess your actions and results. This isn't about judgment or harsh criticism, but about gaining clarity on what is working and what needs adjustment. Approach this review with curiosity and kindness toward yourself. Recognize your achievements, no matter how small, and acknowledge areas where you encountered obstacles or distractions. This balanced perspective fuels motivation and learning. Track your goals consistently. Writing down your objectives and daily actions keeps your intentions visible and measurable. Review your progress toward these goals each day and note any deviations or successes. This practice transforms vague desires into concrete steps and allows you to celebrate incremental wins. Tracking also reveals patterns, highlighting habits that either propel you forward or hold you back. Identify specific lessons from your daily experiences. Consider what each success or setback teaches you about your strengths, challenges, and strategies. These insights guide your next steps and prevent repeating unproductive behaviors. Viewing every outcome as feedback rather than failure cultivates resilience and continuous improvement. Adjust your plan as needed, based on your review. Flexibility is key to growth, because circumstances change and new information emerges. Use your daily assessment to refine your approach, set new priorities, or adopt different tactics. This adaptability keeps you moving forward effectively without becoming stuck in rigid routines. Celebrate progress regularly to reinforce positive momentum. Acknowledge milestones and effort with gratitude and recognition. This positive reinforcement encourages persistence and builds confidence. Celebrating also helps maintain a healthy emotional connection to your growth journey. Use your review time to clarify your purpose and motivation. Reflect on why your goals matter and how your daily actions align with your deeper values. Reconnecting with your purpose renews enthusiasm and strengthens commitment. Purpose-driven progress feels meaningful and energizing rather than mechanical or burdensome. Develop a simple, consistent method for your daily review. Whether it's journaling, checklist, voice notes, or quiet meditation, choose a format that fits your style and lifestyle. Consistency builds habit, and habit creates lasting change. A structured approach makes review less daunting and more effective. Include questions in your review that prompt deep reflection. Examples include: what did I accomplish today? What distracted me? What can I improve tomorrow? How did I manage challenges? What am I grateful for? These prompts focus your attention on essential aspects of growth and encourage honest self-assessment. Record your feelings about your progress. Emotional awareness adds an important dimension to your review by revealing how your actions impact your well-being and motivation. Noticing feelings like satisfaction, frustration, or excitement helps you understand your internal landscape and manage it wisely. Set daily intentions based on your review. Decide on clear, achievable actions for the next day that address insights gained. This forward-looking step bridges reflection with action and keeps your growth cycle continuous. Intentions create accountability and direction. Avoid perfectionism in your review process. Growth is a journey with ups and downs, not a straight line. Accept that some days will be more productive than others, and that mistakes are opportunities for learning. This mindset reduces stress and sustains engagement over time. Share your progress with a trusted friend, mentor, or coach when possible. External feedback provides fresh perspectives, encouragement, and accountability. Discussing your review deepens understanding and reinforces commitment. Use technology wisely to support your review habit. Digital tools like apps, reminders, or trackers can make recording and analyzing progress easier. Choose tools that enhance rather than overwhelm your process. Maintain balance in your review by considering all areas of your life. Include physical health, relationships, work, learning, and mental well-being. This holistic perspective ensures your growth is well-rounded and sustainable. Reflect on the long-term impact of your daily efforts. Visualize how small, consistent improvements compound over weeks and months to create significant transformation. This vision motivates patience and persistence. Stay open to feedback from yourself and others. Openness fosters growth by allowing new ideas and corrections to influence your path. Resist defensiveness and welcome insights as gifts. Practice gratitude during your review. Recognize opportunities, resources, and support that contribute to your progress. Gratitude shifts focus from scarcity to abundance and builds resilience. Prioritize rest and renewal as part of your growth process. Use review time to assess your energy levels and recovery needs. Sustainable progress depends on balancing effort with self-care. Incorporate learning into your daily review. Identify knowledge gaps or skills to develop and plan steps to address them. Continuous learning expands your capacity and confidence. Remember that your review process is personal and unique. Customize it to fit your personality, goals, and lifestyle. Flexibility in design increases consistency and effectiveness. Recognize and release unproductive thoughts or emotions during review. Letting go of self-doubt, regret, or negativity clears mental space for positive growth. Use your review to reinforce your identity as a learner and doer. Embrace the mindset that you are always evolving and capable of improvement. This identity strengthens motivation and perseverance. Begin and end your day with review moments. Morning reflection sets intentions and focus, while evening review consolidates learning and growth. This rhythm creates a powerful cycle of awareness and action. Track your progress to gain control over your journey and shape your future with clarity and confidence. Daily review is a vital practice that transforms scattered efforts into purposeful growth. By engaging deeply with your experiences, learning from them, and planning intentionally, you create a life of direction and fulfillment. This habit nurtures your ability to own your mind and craft the life you desire. Chapter 15. Create mental space by letting go of noise. Creating mental space by letting go of noise is a vital step toward gaining clarity and control over your mind. Noise, whether external distractions or internal chatter, clutters your thinking and drains your energy. This mental clutter prevents you from focusing on what truly matters and obstructs your path to growth and peace. To own your mind, you must intentionally clear away the unnecessary noise and create space where your thoughts can be calm, focused, and purposeful. Begin by identifying the sources of noise in your life. External noise often includes constant notifications, social media, meaningless conversations, or chaotic environments. Internal noise takes the form of repetitive worries, self-criticism, or scattered thoughts. Awareness of these distractions is the first step in removing them. Without recognizing what fills your mental space unnecessarily, you cannot clear it effectively. Establish quiet moments throughout your day. Silence offers your mind a chance to reset and reorganize. Even brief pauses without external input allow your brain to rest and recover from sensory overload. Make it a habit to disconnect from screens and external stimuli regularly. These intervals nurture mental clarity and prepare you for deeper focus. Practice mindfulness to observe and release internal noise. Mindfulness trains you to notice thoughts as they arise without attachment or judgment. This non-reactive awareness prevents internal chatter from taking over. By simply observing your thoughts without engaging, you create mental distance and space. This skill grows stronger with daily practice and brings peace amidst mental busyness. Create physical environments that reduce noise. Organize your workspace and living areas to minimize distractions. Clean, uncluttered spaces promote calm and help your mind stay centered. Use noise-canceling headphones or play soft instrumental music if complete silence feels uncomfortable. Your surroundings influence your mental state, so curate them carefully to support focus. Limit exposure to information overload. In the digital age, constant news, advertisements, and social media bombard your senses with unnecessary input. Choose your sources wisely and set boundaries on consumption. For example, designate specific times to check emails or news rather than allowing continuous interruptions. Intentional consumption prevents mental fatigue. Develop a habit of decluttering your thoughts daily. Journaling can help unload repetitive worries or scattered ideas. Writing down what occupies your mind externalizes these thoughts and frees up space. Review your journal entries to identify recurring noise patterns and address their root causes. This process transforms mental chaos into organized insight. Prioritize your tasks to focus only on what is important. Trying to juggle too many things at once creates mental noise and overwhelm. Use lists or planning tools to clarify your priorities and commit to one task at a time. Focused effort on meaningful activities reduces internal distraction and increases productivity. Practice saying no to unnecessary commitments. Overloading your schedule invites external noise and stress. Respecting your limits creates room for mental rest and important pursuits. Saying no confidently protects your time and attention from fragmentation. Set boundaries in conversations and relationships. Limit engagement with people who bring drama, negativity, or constant demands. Choose interactions that nourish your mind and avoid those that add noise. Clear social boundaries maintain your mental peace and foster supportive connections. Use breathing exercises to calm mental turbulence. Deep, intentional breaths activate your nervous system's relaxation response. This physiological shift quiets internal chatter and increases focus. Integrate breathing techniques into your daily routine to manage stress and clear mental fog. Engage in regular physical exercise. Movement improves blood flow and oxygen delivery to the brain, enhancing clarity and mood. Physical activity also releases tension that can manifest as mental noise. Exercise serves as a reset for your mind and body, promoting sharper thinking. Limit multitasking, as it fragments attention and increases cognitive noise. Focus on completing one task fully before moving to the next. This approach enhances efficiency and reduces mental clutter. Avoid excessive stimulation before sleep. Screens, loud noises, and stressful thoughts disrupt your ability to rest well. A calm mind promotes deep sleep, which is essential for mental restoration. Establish a relaxing bedtime routine that quiets your thoughts and prepares you for restful sleep. Practice gratitude to shift focus from chaotic thoughts to appreciation. Gratitude calms the mind by highlighting positives and reducing rumination. Daily acknowledgement of what you value creates a peaceful mental atmosphere. Use visualization to imagine your mind as a clear, open space. Picture mental clutter dissolving and leaving room for focus and creativity. This mental imagery reinforces your commitment to letting go of noise and maintaining clarity. Regularly review your mental habits and adjust as needed. Notice when noise creeps back in and take corrective action quickly. Ongoing self-monitoring strengthens your ability to sustain mental space. Seek solitude intentionally. Time alone provides an opportunity to reconnect with yourself without distractions. Solitude fosters deep reflection and renewed mental energy. Incorporate solitude into your routine, even briefly, to nurture your inner clarity. Cultivate patience with yourself during this process. Letting go of mental noise is a gradual journey requiring practice and persistence. Celebrate small victories and stay committed to creating a calm mind. Recognize that mental noise often masks deeper fears or unresolved issues. Addressing these underlying causes reduces the tendency for mental chatter. Consider journaling, therapy, or coaching to explore and heal these areas. Embrace simplicity in your lifestyle. Simplifying possessions, commitments, and routines reduces external demands and internal chaos. Minimalism supports mental space by eliminating excess. Use affirmations that reinforce calm and clarity. Repeating statements like, "I release what does not serve me," or "My mind is peaceful and focused," supports your intention to clear noise. Practice forgiveness toward yourself and others to release mental burdens. Holding on to grudges or regrets fuels internal noise and blocks peace. Forgiveness lightens your mental load and opens space for growth. Stay connected with nature regularly. Natural environments calm the nervous system and reduce mental clutter. Walks, gardening, or simply sitting outside helps your mind reset and find clarity. Avoid comparing yourself to others. Comparison creates mental noise through judgment and insecurity. Focus on your own path and progress to maintain internal harmony. Build a support system of like-minded individuals who encourage mental clarity and focus. Positive social connections reduce stress and provide encouragement for letting go of noise. Set daily intentions that prioritize mental space. Begin your day deciding to let go of distractions and focus on what matters. Intentions guide your attention and guard against mental clutter. Remember that creating mental space is not about avoiding challenges, but about clearing distractions to face them more effectively. A quiet mind is stronger, more resilient, and better equipped to solve problems. Taking control of your mental environment by letting go of noise empowers you to live intentionally. It opens the door to deeper focus, creativity, and peace. This practice nurtures a clear mind, enabling you to own your thoughts and direct your life with purpose. Chapter 16. Control your reactions by mastering your emotions. Mastering your emotions is the key to controlling your reactions and reclaiming your mental power. Emotions are natural and important signals, but when they dictate your responses, they can lead to impulsive decisions and unnecessary turmoil. Learning to observe, understand, and regulate your emotional experience gives you the freedom to act with intention rather than reaction. This control is fundamental to owning your mind and creating a life guided by wisdom and resilience. Start by recognizing that emotions are not enemies, but messengers. They communicate important information about your needs, values, and environment. Instead of suppressing feelings or letting them run wild, develop the habit of pausing to identify what you are experiencing. Labeling your emotions clearly, whether it is anger, fear, joy, or sadness, creates distance and allows you to examine them objectively. Practice deep breathing as a foundational tool for emotional regulation. When emotions rise, your nervous system activates, leading to faster heartbeat and shallow breathing. Conscious, slow breaths calm this response, bringing clarity to your mind. This simple act shifts you from reactive to reflective, enabling deliberate choice over instinctive impulse. Develop mindfulness skills to watch your emotions without judgment or attachment. Observe how feelings emerge, peak, and fade naturally. This awareness reduces the power of emotions to overwhelm you. By witnessing emotions as temporary waves, you build resilience and prevent yourself from being swept away by them. Challenge impulsive thoughts that fuel emotional reactions. Notice the stories or assumptions your mind creates during emotional spikes. Question their truth and usefulness. Reframing your perspective often diffuses intensity and opens new pathways for thoughtful responses. Create mental space between stimulus and reaction. When faced with a triggering event, pause before responding. This moment allows you to assess your emotional state and consider the best course of action. Even a brief pause can prevent regret and promote better decision-making. Build emotional vocabulary to express yourself clearly and constructively. Using precise language to describe your feelings enhances communication and reduces misunderstandings. Expressing emotions assertively rather than explosively fosters healthier relationships and self-respect. Use journaling to process complex emotions and discover patterns. Writing down your feelings and reactions illuminates recurring triggers and habits. This insight empowers you to develop strategies tailored to your emotional landscape. Practice self-compassion when managing difficult emotions. Accept that everyone experiences emotional challenges and that mastery is a gradual process. Treat yourself with kindness instead of harsh criticism during setbacks. Compassion supports growth and reduces emotional resistance. Set clear intentions for how you want to respond in emotionally charged situations. Visualize yourself remaining calm, thoughtful, and confident. Rehearsing these responses mentally prepares you to act from strength rather than stress. Engage in physical activities that support emotional balance. Exercise releases endorphins that improve mood and reduces stress hormones. Movement also channels excess energy that might otherwise fuel emotional outbursts. Seek feedback from trusted individuals about your emotional reactions. Others can provide valuable perspectives and hold you accountable for your growth. Constructive feedback helps you refine your emotional mastery. Develop problem-solving skills to address situations that trigger negative emotions. Taking proactive steps reduces feelings of helplessness and frustration. Focused action empowers you and lessens emotional volatility. Practice gratitude to shift focus from negative emotions to appreciation. Recognizing positives calms the mind and balances emotional states. Gratitude nurtures a stable foundation for managing challenges. Learn to recognize emotional hijacking, the overwhelming flood of feelings that clouds judgment. When this happens, retreat momentarily to regain control through breathing, grounding, or stepping away. Awareness of hijacking patterns helps you intervene early. Use positive affirmations to reinforce your ability to manage emotions effectively. Repeating phrases like, "I remain calm and clear under pressure," strengthens your belief and behavior. Limit exposure to toxic environments and relationships that provoke excessive emotional reactions. Surround yourself with people and settings that support emotional stability and growth. Develop rituals for emotional reset after stressful interactions. Activities such as meditation, nature walks, or creative expression restore balance and clarity. Understand that controlling reactions does not mean suppressing emotions, but responding in ways that align with your values and goals. Emotional mastery enhances authenticity and personal power. Recognize the connection between physical health and emotional regulation. Adequate sleep, nutrition, and hydration improve brain function and resilience to stress. Practice empathy to better understand others' emotions. This understanding reduces conflict and improves communication, making it easier to respond thoughtfully rather than reactively. Use humor wisely to diffuse tension and shift perspective during emotionally charged moments. Lightness can break cycles of escalation and restore calm. Stay patient with yourself as you develop emotional mastery. Progress takes time and consistent effort. Celebrate small successes and learn from challenges. Build a support system that encourages emotional growth and accountability. Sharing your journey with trusted companions fosters encouragement and insight. Avoid blaming yourself or others when emotions arise unexpectedly. Accept emotional responses as part of being human and focus on how you choose to handle them. Integrate breathing, mindfulness, and reflection into your daily routine to strengthen your emotional regulation muscle continuously. Recall past experiences where you successfully managed emotions to boost confidence in your ability. Challenge limiting beliefs that suggest you must react impulsively. Replace these with empowering beliefs that you can choose calm and clarity. Embrace discomfort as a natural part of emotional growth. Facing difficult feelings without avoidance builds resilience and depth of character. Remember that mastering emotions is not about controlling others, but owning your inner world. This control enhances freedom, peace, and effectiveness. Celebrate your evolving capacity to respond with wisdom and intention. Each controlled reaction reinforces your ownership of your mind and shapes a life aligned with your highest potential. Chapter 17. Turn setbacks into tools that grow your strength. Setbacks are inevitable in life, but they can be powerful tools for building strength when approached with the right mindset. Instead of seeing failure or obstacles as endpoints, recognize them as opportunities to learn, adapt, and grow. Each challenge offers insight into your limits and areas for improvement, creating a foundation for greater resilience and success. Turning setbacks into growth tools means transforming adversity into a teacher that guides your development and fortifies your character. Begin by accepting setbacks without resistance. Denying or fighting against difficulties only prolongs frustration and drains your energy. Acceptance does not mean resignation, but acknowledges reality as it is. This clear-eyed recognition frees you from wasted emotional struggle and opens space for constructive action. Reflect deeply on what the setback reveals about your current approach. Analyze the situation objectively to identify what worked, what didn't, and why. Understanding the root causes empowers you to make smarter decisions moving forward. This honest self-examination fosters accountability and prevents repeating the same mistakes. Shift your perspective from victimhood to agency. Focus on what you can control rather than what happened beyond your influence. This shift in mindset reclaims your power and places you in the driver's seat of your journey. Embracing responsibility turns setbacks into strategic lessons instead of crushing defeats. Develop patience as you process setbacks. Growth often unfolds slowly and requires time to integrate lessons. Resist the urge for immediate results or quick fixes. Consistent effort over time yields profound transformation, even if progress feels invisible at first. Practice gratitude for the growth opportunity setbacks present. Recognizing the hidden value in challenges cultivates optimism and motivation. Gratitude helps you maintain emotional balance and keeps you connected to your purpose. Use setbacks to build emotional resilience. Each experience toughens your ability to handle future difficulties with grace and calm. Emotional strength supports clear thinking and steady action under pressure. Turn setbacks into creative problem-solving exercises. Experiment with new strategies and solutions based on what you've learned. Flexibility and innovation turn obstacles into stepping stones. Seek feedback from trusted mentors or peers to gain fresh perspectives on setbacks. External insight broadens your understanding and uncovers blind spots. Collaboration accelerates learning and growth. Document your setbacks and the lessons derived from them. Keeping a record allows you to track your evolution and reinforces the habit of reflection. Writing clarifies your thinking and commits lessons to memory. Maintain confidence in your core abilities and worth despite setbacks. Self-belief anchors your efforts and fuels perseverance. Affirm your strengths regularly to counter doubt and discouragement. Use setbacks as reminders to refine your goals and priorities. Challenges often reveal misalignments or unrealistic expectations. Adjusting your vision keeps you grounded and focused. Balance ambition with humility. Recognize that setbacks are part of the growth process and no journey is without hurdles. Humility fosters openness to learning and prevents arrogance. Practice self-compassion when setbacks trigger self-criticism. Treat yourself with kindness and encouragement rather than harsh judgment. Compassion sustains motivation and mental health. Visualize setbacks as temporary detours rather than dead ends. This imagery encourages persistence and a positive outlook. Reframe setbacks as evidence of effort and courage rather than failure. Taking risks and facing challenges demonstrates strength, even when outcomes differ from expectations. Engage in physical activities to process the stress of setbacks. Movement releases tension and revitalizes your mental state, preparing you for renewed focus. Integrate setbacks into your personal narrative as essential chapters of growth. Viewing your story holistically builds meaning and resilience. Use setbacks to deepen your problem-solving skills by breaking challenges into manageable parts. This systematic approach reduces overwhelm and builds confidence. Practice forgiveness toward yourself and others involved in setbacks. Letting go of blame frees mental energy for constructive actions. Build routines that support recovery and learning after setbacks. Consistent habits reinforce stability and progress. Maintain curiosity about setbacks by asking, "What can this teach me?" instead of "Why me?" Curiosity shifts you from victim to learner. Celebrate small wins, even during difficult times, to maintain morale and momentum. Use setbacks to cultivate patience and endurance, which are vital for long-term success. Remember that every setback holds a seed of opportunity that can blossom with effort and insight. Focus on continuous improvement rather than perfection to stay motivated despite setbacks. Reinforce your commitment to your goals by revisiting your reasons and vision regularly. Use setbacks as catalysts to strengthen your mental toughness and adaptability. Recognize that turning setbacks into growth tools is a skill developed through consistent practice. Embrace discomfort as a sign of progress and transformation during challenging times. Let setbacks remind you of your capacity to rise, learn, and continue moving forward. Approach each setback as a lesson that strengthens your resolve and sharpens your wisdom. Owning your setbacks as part of your growth journey empowers you to live with courage and purpose. Chapter 18. Use your time on what feeds your future. Time is the most valuable resource you have, and how you use it directly shapes your future. Investing your time wisely means dedicating it to activities that nurture your growth, goals, and well-being. Each moment spent on distractions or fleeting pleasures is a moment lost that cannot be recovered. To own your mind and craft a meaningful life, commit to focusing your time on what truly feeds your future. Begin by clarifying your long-term vision and goals. Without a clear direction, it's easy to drift into unproductive routines. When you know what you want to create or become, prioritizing tasks and decisions becomes straightforward. This clarity acts as a compass guiding your daily time investments. Evaluate how you currently spend your time with honest scrutiny. Track your activities over several days and identify patterns. Notice where you invest energy and where you waste it. This awareness uncovers hidden time leaks and provides the data needed to make intentional changes. Set boundaries around your time to protect it from unnecessary interruptions. Learn to say no to requests, invitations, or habits that don't align with your priorities. This discipline preserves your mental space and focus for what matters most. Create a daily schedule that reflects your goals and values. Allocate specific time blocks for essential activities such as work, learning, rest, and relationships. Structuring your day reduces decision fatigue and increases productivity by building routines that support your future self. Prioritize high-impact tasks that move you closer to your objectives. Identify the few actions each day that produce the greatest results and commit to completing them first. This focus prevents you from scattering your energy on trivial matters. Limit time spent on distractions like social media, aimless browsing, or excessive entertainment. These activities consume attention without providing lasting value. Use apps or timers to control and reduce these habits consciously. Use waiting or downtime as opportunities for small productive actions. Reading, planning, or practicing mindfulness during these moments accumulates into meaningful progress over time. Transforming idle time into growth time multiplies your future benefits. Surround yourself with people who support your growth and inspire productive use of time. Social influence strongly affects how you spend your days. Positive relationships encourage accountability and reinforce your commitment to purposeful living. Invest time in developing skills and knowledge relevant to your goals. Continuous learning expands your capabilities and opens new opportunities. Choose learning activities that challenge and excite you, making growth enjoyable rather than burdensome. Schedule regular reviews of your time use and adjust as needed. Life circumstances and priority evolve, so remain flexible and responsive. Regular reflection ensures your time remains aligned with your evolving vision. Practice mindful presence in each activity to maximize its value. Fully engaging in what you do enhances effectiveness and satisfaction. Mindlessness often leads to wasted time and energy. Rest and recovery are essential parts of using your time well. Avoid burnout by balancing effort with restorative activities. Quality rest fuels sustained focus and creativity. Plan breaks intentionally to recharge without losing momentum. Short, purposeful breaks improve mental clarity and prevent fatigue. Automate or delegate repetitive or low-value tasks when possible. Freeing up time from routine duties creates space for higher priorities. Set clear deadlines for tasks to create urgency and focus. Without time limits, it's easy to procrastinate and waste precious hours. Use visualization to imagine the future benefits of your current time investments. This mental rehearsal strengthens motivation and perseverance. Cultivate gratitude for the gift of time and the ability to choose how to spend it. Gratitude fosters respect and careful stewardship of this finite resource. Avoid multitasking, which fragments attention and reduces efficiency. Single tasking improves quality and speed, maximizing time's return. Build habits that align daily actions with your future goals. Habits automate good use of time and reduce reliance on willpower. Recognize that small, consistent time investments compound into significant progress. Patience and persistence turn minutes into mastery. Use your time to build meaningful relationships that enrich your life and future. Quality connections provide support, learning, and joy. Engage in creative pursuits that expand your thinking and innovation. Creativity fuels adaptability and opens unexpected doors. Limit exposure to negative influences that drain time and energy. Protect your focus by curating your environment and interactions. Practice saying no gracefully to protect your time without guilt or explanation. Respecting your boundaries empowers you and earns others' respect. Use affirmations to reinforce your commitment to purposeful time use. Positive self-talk strengthens habits and mindset. Plan your day the night before to enter the next day with clarity and intention. Preparation reduces wasted moments and increases flow. Avoid perfectionism that causes procrastination and wastes time. Strive for progress and completion rather than flawless outcomes. Celebrate accomplishments regularly to maintain motivation and recognize effective time use. Rewards reinforce positive habits. Seek balance in how you distribute time among work, growth, rest, and relationships. Holistic time use nurtures all aspects of your life. Remember that time invested in yourself is never wasted. Self-care and personal development lay the foundation for all other achievements. Embrace the power of consistency over intensity in your time investments. Regular small steps outpace sporadic bursts of effort. Use time as a tool to build a life of purpose, fulfillment, and impact. Intentional moments add up to a meaningful whole. Own your time and direct it with awareness and discipline to feed your future with growth, strength, and joy. Chapter 19. Stay committed to thinking with purpose. Always. Thinking with purpose is the foundation of a focused and meaningful life. Without clear intention, thoughts wander aimlessly, draining your energy and blurring your path. Staying committed to purposeful thinking means consistently directing your mind toward what aligns with your values, goals, and growth. This discipline sharpens your clarity, strengthens your decision-making, and fuels progress. Begin by understanding that your thoughts shape your reality. What you repeatedly think influences your emotions, actions, and ultimately your outcomes. Purposeful thinking empowers you to choose thoughts that serve your highest good, rather than allowing random or negative ideas to dominate your mind. Develop clarity on what purpose means to you. Reflect deeply on your core values, long-term goals, and the kind of person you want to become. When your purpose is well defined, your thoughts naturally orient around it, creating momentum and direction. Create daily mental rituals that anchor your purpose. Start your day by affirming your goals or visualizing your desired future. These practices prime your mind to focus on purposeful thinking from the outset and sustain it throughout the day. Practice mindfulness to catch unproductive or distracting thoughts quickly. Becoming aware of where your mind drifts allows you to gently redirect it back to purpose. This awareness strengthens over time and reduces mental chaos. Use questions to guide your thinking toward purpose. When faced with decisions or challenges, ask yourself what aligns with your values and long-term vision. This questioning habit nurtures thoughtful and intentional choices. Write down your purpose and key goals in a place you see often. Regular reminders reinforce commitment and help you stay aligned when distractions arise. Limit exposure to content or conversations that pull your mind away from purpose. Curate your information and social environments carefully to protect your mental focus. Break down big goals into manageable daily intentions. Clear, achievable steps prevent overwhelm and keep your thinking practical and action-oriented. Surround yourself with people who support purposeful thinking. Positive influence fosters accountability and motivation. Use affirmations that reinforce your commitment to think with purpose. Statements like, "My thoughts guide me toward growth," strengthen your mindset. Engage in reflective journaling to review how well your thinking aligns with your purpose. Honest reflection uncovers areas for improvement and celebrates progress. Challenge limiting beliefs that block purposeful thinking. Replace doubts or fears with empowering truths that support your growth. Practice gratitude to focus your mind on abundance and possibility. Gratitude shifts thinking from scarcity or complaint to appreciation and opportunity. Recognize when your thoughts slip into negativity or distraction and intervene promptly. Develop mental habits to pause, breathe, and reset your focus. Commit to lifelong learning to expand your perspective and deepen your purpose. Knowledge and insight fuel richer thinking. Practice single tasking to deepen focus and quality of thought. Multitasking scatters attention and weakens purpose. Take breaks to refresh your mind and prevent burnout. Rested thinking is clearer and more effective. Visualize success and the feelings associated with living purposefully. Visualization energizes motivation and resilience. Develop patience for the slow and steady nature of purposeful progress. Trust the process rather than seeking instant results. Stay curious and open to new ideas that can refine your purpose. Openness keeps your thinking dynamic and adaptive. Avoid judgment or harsh criticism of your thoughts. Acceptance fosters a safe mental space for growth. Set boundaries around your time and energy to protect purposeful thinking. Guard your focus as you would a precious asset. Practice self-compassion when distractions or setbacks occur. Forgive yourself and recommit without guilt. Engage in physical exercise to enhance mental clarity and energy. Body movement supports brain function and focus. Use breathing techniques to calm racing or scattered thoughts. Calm breath anchors purposeful thinking. Maintain a healthy lifestyle with quality sleep, nutrition, and hydration to support optimal brain performance. Recognize that thinking with purpose is a skill developed through consistent effort. Each intentional thought strengthens this muscle. Celebrate milestones and breakthroughs to reinforce your commitment and boost confidence. Use technology mindfully to support, not sabotage, purposeful thinking. Set limits and choose tools that enhance focus. Stay flexible to adjust your purpose as you grow and learn. Purpose evolves, and adapting keeps your thinking relevant. Build mental resilience to handle setbacks without losing sight of your purpose. Avoid comparing your thinking journey to others. Focus on your unique path. Practice empathy to understand perspectives that challenge and enrich your own. Engage in creative activities that stimulate innovative and expansive thinking. Remember that purposeful thinking shapes your actions, habits, and life outcomes. Commit daily to owning your mind by choosing thoughts that serve your highest vision. The strength of your life depends on the strength of your purpose-driven mind. Each thought aligned with your purpose adds momentum to your journey. Living with purpose requires unwavering commitment to the quality of your thinking. Own your thoughts, direct them consciously, and stay devoted to purposeful thinking to create a life of meaning and impact. Chapter 20. Own your decisions and act with clear intention. Taking full ownership of your decisions is the cornerstone of living a purposeful and empowered life. Every choice you make carries weight and shapes your path, whether small or significant. Acting with clear intention means making decisions consciously, with clarity about your values and goals, rather than drifting through life passively or reacting impulsively. When you claim responsibility for your choices and align your actions with deliberate intention, you gain control over your destiny and unlock your true potential. The first step toward owning your decisions is to cultivate awareness. Pay close attention to the choices you face daily, both big and small. Notice how often decisions are automatic, influenced by habit, emotion, or external pressures rather than thoughtful consideration. Awareness shines a light on areas where you unconsciously surrender your power. Becoming aware means you can pause and ask yourself if each decision aligns with your purpose and desired future. Clarify your values and priorities to guide your decision-making. When your inner compass is well defined, it becomes easier to evaluate options and choose paths that serve your highest good. Reflect deeply on what matters most in your life: integrity, growth, relationships, health, and let these guide your actions. Decisions rooted in values lead to greater satisfaction and less regret. Develop a habit of intentional pause before deciding. Even a brief moment to breathe and reflect can shift your mindset from reactive to proactive. This pause allows you to assess your emotions, motivations, and the potential impact of your choices. It breaks the cycle of impulsive decisions that often lead to frustration or wasted energy. Commit to clarity by gathering necessary information and considering alternatives. Making informed decisions reduces uncertainty and builds confidence. Seek knowledge from reliable sources and weigh pros and cons objectively. Avoid rushing decisions based on incomplete facts or fleeting feelings. Accept full responsibility for your choices, whether outcomes are favorable or challenging. Owning decisions means resisting the urge to blame others, circumstances, or bad luck. This accountability strengthens your sense of control and fosters learning. When you acknowledge your role in every result, you can identify lessons and make better decisions next time. Practice decisiveness to prevent hesitation and doubt from paralyzing progress. Delaying decisions often leads to missed opportunities or increased stress. Trust your ability to make sound choices, knowing that no decision is perfect, but each is a step forward. Moving confidently cultivates momentum and self-trust. Align your actions consistently with your decisions. Saying yes to one thing means saying no to another. Follow through on commitments to reinforce integrity and build trust with yourself and others. Inconsistency undermines confidence and wastes valuable energy. Use clear intention to set the tone for your decisions. Before acting, state your purpose and desired outcome clearly, either silently or aloud. This mental framing focuses your mind and energizes your efforts. Intentions act as anchors that keep you aligned even amid distractions or challenges. Reflect regularly on past decisions to identify patterns and growth areas. Reviewing your choices and their consequences deepens self-awareness and sharpens judgment. Celebrate wise decisions and learn from those that missed the mark without self-criticism. Develop resilience to handle the discomfort of difficult decisions. Not all choices are easy or popular, but facing them with courage strengthens your character. Embrace uncertainty as part of the process and trust your capacity to adapt and thrive. Cultivate patience during decision-making. Avoid rushing under pressure or trying to force outcomes prematurely. Waiting for the right moment to act often produces better results and reduces regret. Set clear boundaries to protect your ability to decide freely. Learn to say no firmly when requests or demands conflict with your priorities. Boundaries create the space needed to focus on what truly matters. Seek input from trusted mentors or advisors when facing complex decisions. External perspectives provide valuable insights and reduce blind spots. However, maintain final authority over your choices to preserve ownership. Visualize successful execution of your decisions to strengthen commitment and motivation. Imagining positive results energizes you to act with confidence and persistence. Practice self-compassion when decisions lead to mistakes or setbacks. Forgive yourself quickly and view errors as essential lessons rather than failures. Compassion supports recovery and renewed effort. Avoid decision fatigue by simplifying choices and limiting options when possible. Too many options overwhelm the mind and impair judgment. Streamline decisions by creating routines or criteria that reduce mental load. Use journaling to clarify your thoughts and intentions before making important decisions. Writing helps organize ideas, uncover hidden fears, and affirm your values. Maintain flexibility to adjust decisions as new information or circumstances arise. Ownership includes adapting intelligently rather than stubbornly clinging to choices that no longer serve you. Recognize the difference between decisive action and reckless impulsiveness. Thoughtful ownership balances speed with reflection. Build trust in your intuition by practicing listening to your inner guidance alongside rational analysis. Intuition often provides subtle signals based on experience and subconscious pattern recognition. Celebrate your power as the author of your life through your decisions. Each choice is a statement of who you are and what you stand for. Commit daily to owning your decisions and acting with clear intention. This ongoing discipline creates a life defined by purpose, integrity, and growth. Remember that ownership of decisions fuels freedom, resilience, and self-mastery. When you choose consciously and follow through unwaveringly, you move confidently toward your highest potential. Embrace the journey of decision ownership as a path to empowerment. With every intentional choice, you claim your mind, shape your future, and live authentically.